Jordan Addison has a 3-game suspension. What are we going to do now? Give you a hint. Nothing's going to change. He's staying put in the ranks. In other news, Keenan Allen signs with the Chargers. Never thought I'd see the day, but feeling pretty good about that one. That's a nice little win. Matthew Stafford is still not practicing. We have Khalil Shakir out week to week. Isaac Garendo out week to week. There's a lot going on at these training camps. A lot of injuries so far this offseason. Hopefully some minor stuff. The hamstrings, the ankles, the shoulders. We're going to get into it and more. I just entered a best ball mania. It's already started. I'm drafting from the 6th spot. But we're going to draft a few teams tonight. So come on in. Let's draft together. And if you're new to the channel, if you're watching this in the future, make sure you're subscribed. I'm on a goal to hit 500 subscribers before the start of the NFL season. We've got 30 days to go. I think we can do it. I need your help. So come on in. Say what up in the chat. Make sure you hit like on the stream. Leave a comment afterwards if you're watching in the future. Are you still drafting Jordan Addison in the 5th round, the 6th round kind of range? Are you going to wait until the 7th round? I'm going to be drafting a lot of Jordan Addison in the 6th round because we're playing for week 17 and the dude puts up spike weeks. It's a good offense. It's a good week 17 matchup versus the Lions at home for Minnesota. I just took Justin Jefferson at the 106. Let's hit the intro, say what up to the chat, and get right into this Best Ball Mania 6 draft. A lot of drafts coming tonight. We're going to rip through some, do some Best Ball Mania, some Huskies, maybe even some PGA Battle Royales. Who knows? But without further ado, let's hit the intro. But overall, it's like the guy can ball. Like, actions speak louder than words. What's up, fellas? How we doing on this Tuesday night? Hope you're having a great start to your week. Hope your drafts are going well. Thanks for chilling with me tonight. Hey, I'm here to rip some drafts, talk some ball, talk some strategy. What's going on with these training camps, this coach speak, these player injuries. The ADPs are moving. Things are heating up. It's almost the peak of best ball summer. We've got the redraft bros back in the streets, hitting it hard, dropping their videos every day and giving us their top picks for the season. I started off with Justin Jefferson here. So I got to take my boy A.J. Brown. It's a 2 wide receiver start. Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown from the 6th spot. Feeling pretty good about that. Let's say what up to the bros in the chat. We got Nick Bakken here winning the flex. What's up, brother? Hope your Tuesday's going well. Ooh, a little Josh Allen in the 2nd round. You love to see it. Honestly, maybe where Josh Allen should be going, around pick 21. But a little bit of a reach, ahead of his ADP. Can't blame you. If you're going to start Saquon, Josh Allen, kind of a power move. We'll see if these rooms get a little bit, different in the coming month with a lot more people coming in and drafting maybe their first best ball teams of the summer. But you know me, we've been drafting all summer long since the Super Bowl in these streets, and we're drafting pretty much every day. I'll be streaming almost every night as we continue through to the start of the NFL season. So thanks for being here. Make sure you jump in the chat, say what's up, and come draft with me. This is a 20-second Best Ball Mania draft for a $2 million grand prize, $15 million in total prizes. It's a $25 entry, 18 rounds, half point PPR, best ball. We're getting after it, these large field tourneys. I'm going to draft a few more teams after this, so we're going to get into it tonight. All right, the third round. Do I go ahead and pull the trigger on Lamar Jackson or Marvin Harrison? Personally, me, let's get some more Lamar Jackson. That's the way I'm feeling it tonight. That's the way I'm thinking. Tempted to go Kyron there, honestly, and grab myself a nice top-end running back in the third round. Josh Jacobs would have fallen to me at 30. Definitely would have done that. But Lamar Jackson on an A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson start feels good. You could argue that maybe I should wait for Jalen Hurts and get him in the fourth. Maybe. We'll see what my options are in the fourth round, whether I go running back or wide receiver there. But I want to build some more balanced type builds. I don't want to wait too long on running back. A lot of the good guys have gone. Omarion Hampton goes pick 25. So it's kind of an interesting cutoff in my mind. You know, the before and after the Hampton tier of running backs. But we'll make it up. We'll get after it here. Dr. B. Harris. What's up, brother? How you doing tonight? Hope your Tuesday's going well. Getting the week started. Yo, what up? DWB Mania. Appreciate you being here. Hope your drafts are going well. What are you getting into? I honestly, since we have the first leg of the FedEx Cup this Thursday in Memphis, I think I've drafted 6 or 7 PGA Battle Royale teams, and I want to do like 20 more because I'm honestly convinced. And yeah, it's just playing for Thursday, just the opening day. But I'm still honestly convinced if you don't have Scotty Scheffler in your lineup, your odds of winning is like less than 20%. So I want to get, there's a 6-man draft, 6-person room. I want to get like at least 18 to 24 in. Hopefully I can get 4 or 5 Scotty Scheffler teams, and one of those can hit. It's exciting. Fun stuff. Man, tons of camp news. The Keenan Allen signing with the Los Angeles Chargers. Kind of saw it coming the last couple of days. I mentioned it. Ooh, and Hurts is there. Probably go James Cook. Grab James Cook on this one as my RB1 before it gets too late. I think that's a fine price. Yeah, he might be holding out. Let's just hope not. I think for this build, it's like another tier break before you get to Ken Walker and Chuba Hubbard. Of course, Ken Walker back at practice today. James Cook still holding out for a new contract kind of situation, but I think it makes sense to grab James Cook there. Billy thinks Addison is going to smash, but doesn't know why people are juicing up Naylor. I kind of feel the same way, honestly, because you've got Justin Jefferson, you've got Addison, and then Hawkinson. There's not so much of the target share pie left for a guy like Naylor. Jalen Naylor, even with his career high in receiving touchdowns last season, still didn't really get it done, didn't really hit your best ball lineup. I mean, if you were having to flex Jalen Naylor last season, you weren't putting up a lot of points. He had some touchdowns, but he didn't really put up a whole lot of yards with it. So I don't really know. I think you play the Vikings through the running backs, the tight end, and the top 2 receivers. I think trying to play it through Naylor or even Ty Felton is a little bit too thin. There's just not enough targets to go around when you're competing with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison on most weeks. So that's the kind of way I see it. I think they're going to run the ball a lot. Their O-line is definitely improved, and that's kind of my thought there. So I usually, once Hawkinson's gone, once Jordan Mason is gone, there's not a whole lot left in terms of Vikings skill position players that I'm so interested in. I'll go ahead and take Ken Walker here. I think 54 is a really nice spot to get Ken Walker. Let's hope he's healthy. I mean, he's back practicing today. So through my first 5 picks, Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Lamar Jackson, James Cook, and Kenneth Walker. Somewhat balanced. I get my elite QB with Lamar in the 3rd round. I was on the fence. Do I take another running back or wideout at pick 30 and then grab Jalen Hurts at 43 to stack up with A.J. Brown? It's, for me, honestly, it's hard to pass up on Lamar Jackson at pick 30. I think he is a steal in that range. I think he's just so talented, and if he could easily be, the guy you need in the 3rd round. And we'll see what comes back around here in the 6th round. I mean, I haven't seen RJ Harvey or Travion Henderson in the middle of the 6th round in a few weeks, probably a month. It's been a long time. Jordan Addison goes pick 63. Travis Hunter at 53. So the news of him being an official starting wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars, I've seen Travis Hunter fall an entire 12 picks past that, 68 range. I guess that'd be 15 picks past that. So he might be moving up a little bit in ADP. Back on the clock. 1-2-2 build. I'm probably going to go Golden or Diggs. Swift, Caleb Johnson are there. Jerry Jeudy, Pearsall. I'm going to go ahead and take Matthew Golden. Between him and Diggs. But I'm still really, really in. I'm still really, really in on Matthew Golden and the Packers in 2025. So just kind of seeing the Packers family day scrimmage, Matthew Golden getting all the snaps, primarily playing in the 2 wide receiver sets as well. Just some more confidence to go along with the thought that he's going to be their top target in 2025. So I'm in. I'll take Matthew Golden anywhere between pick 67 through wherever he goes in the next round. Just get a bunch of Matthew Golden. Seems like a flat tier here. Probably a good time to play it through the running backs. Like I think about David Montgomery, DeAndre Swift, and Isaiah Pacheco being pretty nice picks in the 6th round. Doing any more collabs with Mr. August, with Ron? I think Ron, I don't know if he's still on right now, but he was on a little bit earlier doing some best ball drafts. We'll see. You never know what's coming down the pipeline, but super fun. DWB is talking about the collab that Bindles and I did with Ron last week on Ballsy. Always a fun time getting into the basement, draft some best ball teams, talking ball. So we'll see. Hopefully so. It's always be a good time. Always down to collab with other good people in the space. Have some fun, draft some best ball teams. I think, I took Pollard last second. So I'm a huge fan of Emeka Egbuka. I used to have about 16% Egbuka. It's down to about 14% here. And I don't think he'll come back around with all the hype on him. He's risen a good amount. But I did feel like I wanted to grab my third running back before it got too late. My next pick's going to be pick 91. I'm a little bit more confident in the wide receivers or maybe even a tight end that I could grab there at pick 91 compared to the running backs that I think will be available. I don't know. Maybe I could have taken Egbuka there or Jaden Reed and then grab someone like a Jalen Warren around pick 91. Could have made sense. I think we're going to see, we're already seeing Jordan Mason flip Aaron Jones and rise a good amount. I think we're going to see Jalen Warren also rising a good amount here. Different ways to play it. Yo, what up, Sean? Sean, fantasy football. How we doing tonight, brother? Hope you're having a great Tuesday. Thanks for being here, my friend. What are you drafting tonight? Are you getting into any best ball manias? Maybe some of these Husky 2s? I don't know. Did the Pomeranian close already? I did not enter that one. I know the Palm 2 was getting close to closing. The Badge Bros Brawl was getting very close to closing. Weekly winners is surprisingly close to full. I have not done any weekly winners. It's just not really my contest. But it's getting up there. This is a 20-second best ball mania. I've made 7 picks. I've got Lamar Jackson, and I took a bunch. I got 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers through 7 rounds. Pick 91 and then 102 coming back up for me. I'm trying to think. Are there any other quarterbacks that I want to take super early to stack up? Probably not. I can afford to wait a little bit if I wanted to. I'll probably take another wide receiver or even a tight end here. It's like my QB partners, McCarthy, Love, are going to be going a bit later, closer to pick 115, 126 range for both of those guys. So this is the time to take another flex player. I've got Mark Andrews ranked pretty highly. I think he should continue to rise. I almost don't want to risk him coming back to 102, even though that's where his ADP currently is. I'm probably going to just take Mark Andrews here unless I can think of a better pick. And honestly, it's all QBs in my rankings. Otherwise, like a Keon Coleman, who might still be there too. So what I'll do here is I'm going to pull the trigger on Mark Andrews a bit early, but I have him stacked up with Lamar Jackson, and I still think he's like a really solid pick. Keon goes pick 93. He's continued to rise over the last week. I'm going to flip over to the bestballoverlay.com. Go to the free ADP and rankings page that you can also access. Just go to bestballoverlay.com/dashboard. We see Bill Krosky Merritt is the biggest riser in the last week. Anthony Richardson, Woody Marks, Tank Bigsby, and Taj Brooks. The same fallers we're kind of used to, except Marshawn Lloyd's been falling a bit too, which is, I mean, there's some injury news and all that, but it's very interesting. I saw Chris Brooks was taking some snaps with the, probably like the second. I mean, the only other healthy running back for Green Bay right now is Chris Brooks, which is pretty interesting. I've been big in on Emmanuel Wilson during this offseason. He also had an injury. I heard he might get cut. I don't know. I honestly don't think he will get cut, but hard to tell what's going on there for the RB2 position with the Green Bay Packers, which it should be a decent spot. Man, I think it's just Ayuk. I would have taken Tracy or Mixon for sure. I think I just go Ayuk here. Seems fine. Wide receiver 4, you're going to need him to come back and be healthy at some point in the season, but Just okay. Just an okay pick. Needed to get some wide receiver depth. Pick 102 for Brandon Ayuk. Probably the cheapest I've taken him, but I don't take him a whole lot. Yeah. Yeah, Jackson, baby. I'm all about getting my elite QBs when I can. I still think they're underpriced this season. When am I taking Keenan? That's a great question, Sean. I moved Keenan up in my ranks. Let me scroll down real quick, but I'm looking at it on my phone, and I moved Keenan up right after Romeo Dobbs, after Quentin Johnston, and I have them ranked right after Trey Benson, Braylon Allen, Jerome Ford, Tyler Algier. So I have Keenan Allen ranked 145 overall, and I'm going to take him pretty close to that. I want to see, I'm curious in these drafts, like where Keenan will end up going. I don't want to take him at pick 145 if I don't have to. I'll try to push him to like the 160s or something, but I'm comfortable as he continues to rise chasing Keenan Allen up the board. I think it's potentially the best possible landing spot. And then subsequently, I've moved Trey Harris down about 10 picks, and Quentin Johnston and Keenan Allen are back to back for me right now. So that's kind of the major move. And then essentially the Chargers tight ends. I don't know how to play that one. I guess they're all kind of undraftable. Wow. JJ McCarthy goes pick 111 in this draft. So I'm not going to be able to get JJ on this squad to back up Lamar Jackson. Let me see what I can do. Hit the refresh. Come back in here. On the clock. Dak is available. Do I just take Dak for the value and try to backsack him? That's honestly not a bad play. Otherwise, Njoku or Kraft. Let me take Kraft. He's been injured. It's a little bit ahead of ADP, but I've gotten this Packers team stack going. I'm way in on the Packers this season. Could have grabbed the following value on Dak. It's Best Ball Mania. It's been open all season. Dak has been going in this range for most of the summer. He's only recently like risen up into the top 100 and pick 100 to 110 kind of range. So it's not like that great of a value for me to grab there. I think it helps me a lot to get Tucker, Kraft, and then fingers crossed, if Jordan Love comes back around, I think he's my instant click. Otherwise, I can go with a guy like Rashad Bateman or another running back. Maybe get Travis Etienne at pick 126. I'm sure somebody will grab him before there just because, his ADP is still in the teens. So Travis Etienne goes pick 122. That's the latest I've seen him go in a few months. Bateman off the board. I also wouldn't mind Tajay Spears in this range. I don't think I have a way to get to... Okay, so Love is there. I'm going to go ahead and take Love, which I've set up for with the Matthew Golden pick and also the Tucker Kraft pick. Of course, we have the Packers playing the Ravens in Week 17, so I think it's fine. Both quarterbacks in that game, totally fine. Jordan Love, the season-long bet. I mean, along with Lamar Jackson, both of these guys, I think, can outproduce where they're being drafted on a season-long basis. And then Week 17, during the best ball playoffs, who knows which QBs you could need. Both of these guys could definitely hit the lineup. So the double stack with Jordan Love, and then I've already got Mark Andrews with Lamar Jackson. So I'm pretty good there. Looking to get some wide receiver or running back flex options with my next couple picks. Let me know, Sean, where are you drafting Keenan Allen? How far do you think he can rise now with the news that he has signed with the Los Angeles Chargers? And then, I was looking at the Best Ball Overlay ADP snapshot. You can get that for free. Go to the website, check out Best Ball Overlay. If you're interested in the premium tools, you get the portfolio snapshot, which we're seeing here. allows me to see, my playoff stacks for week 17, my roster builds, my draft capital, my top exposures, and the best part of it is you get the overlay here. Of course, you can see your player exposures, the matchups, by any given week, in the combo tool, the new and improved combo tool as well. So I'm a big fan. If you're drafting high volume best ball like me, check out Best Ball Overlay. Use code GARAGE when you sign up for 25% off your premium monthly subscription. Also, shoot me a DM if you have any questions. You can follow me on Twitter at FFB Garage. Send me a DM there or comment on this video afterwards. I'm happy to follow up with you if you have any questions. Let you know how we can use the Best Ball Overlay to draft some shippers, some winners this season. It's a great tool. Wow, we're really seeing Trey Harris falling here. I might snatch him up because I need a receiver as it is. And the other receivers here, I think it's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and grab Trey Harris at pick 139. That's the farthest I've seen him fall so far. Obviously, he's falling based on the Keenan Allen news, but his ADP where we've been drafting him is closer to pick 100. So I get about 30 picks of ADP value there. And maybe we do see Trey Harris start to go closer to pick 140, closer to Quentin Johnston. And like I was predicting, Keenan Allen rising up to that range. But I still think, bet on rookies, bet on the upside, play for week 17. Trey Harris, pick 139 when I needed a wide receiver, feels pretty good. Also, the running backs, I would have loved to have gotten Blue. Maybe I consider Blue there. I want to see where Blue starts to go. I think everyone else is starting to catch on and take Blue a bit higher. It was back in June that we were drafting Blue in the 130s kind of range. He fell to the 150s after that over the last month. There's more hype on Jaden Blue now. I've never been out on Jaden Blue. I've always been in. So I'm going to start having to take him even higher. That's the only consideration I could have made, is take Jaden Blue at pick 139 there. And maybe I'll start doing that too. But I'm curious to see what happens here for pick 150. And I thought a lot of these running backs that would come back around would be kind of what I expected. White, Algier, Ford, Benson, and I could take Dobbs here as well. I don't know. I kind of want to go Dobbs and keep the stack going. I feel like I do. Let me balance it out. Let me get some Rachaad White. Rachaad White or Tyler Algier or Jerome Ford. Let me go Rachaad White on this one. Keep it balanced. I hadn't taken a running back since the 7th round, and we're all the way in the 13th. So I want to ping pong, back and forth for my flex spot. Make sure I don't fall too far behind. Get that 4th running back in this range. Seems fine. I'm feeling really good. I've got both of my tight ends stacked up, so I could just stop with those two. And then same thing for the QBs. I feel like I could just stop at 2, but I'll take advantage of any fallers I can get in this range. So in this draft, Joe Mixon ended up going pick 95. That's, to me, a good value, a good place to take him. If I wasn't so interested in going Mark Andrews at pick 91, if I needed another running back, if I felt like if I didn't take Pollard at 78, I definitely would have considered Joe Mixon at 91. I think Joe Mixon in the 8th round, what do you have to lose? Honestly, maybe I should be taking Joe Mixon. And I've been thinking about this too. Maybe I should be taking Joe Mixon in every single draft in the 7th or 8th round. The guy can smash. He can put up 3-4 touchdown weeks when healthy. So regardless of the Texans O-line situation, Joe Mixon could just be like a big hit. I don't know. We're scared that he's not going to be healthy right now, but how much time is he really going to miss if we're still playing for week 17? Yo, what up, Jeffrey? Gage. Yeah, let me make this pick, and I'll jump back over there to that comment. That's really interesting. A sneaky late pickup. Gage Larvadian. He's slowly creeping up the Browns depth chart. He went from the 4 to the 3 up to the 2 to the 1. Interesting. Dobbs goes one pick before me at 162. Kind of hate to see it. Algier is still there, though. I think that's a smash. Like, it's too obvious. Get Algier. Otherwise, Keenan. I'm going to wait. I'm going to take Algier because I think he's a super good value in this range. But this is borderline, where I want to be drafting Keenan Allen. I just don't know how tuned in everyone else in this draft room is that they're going to be like snatching him up. I'm wondering if I can still, for just one more night, get Keenan Allen, in round 15 kind of range. If he's there, obviously I'll take Keenan Allen with my next pick. But yeah, he goes 165. So okay, we'll start to take notice. Keenan Allen goes pick 165. I definitely considered taking him at 163. Probably should have done it, but good to know. This drafter in the 4 spot, okay. So yeah, he's just kind of staying current on the news. No real reason. It's not like he had Justin Herbert or a big Chargers stack, team stack wise. He just kind of felt the need to grab Keenan Allen there at pick 165. Interesting enough, Deontay Johnson going pick 167. I think that's a terrible pick. But who knows? Some people are in on Deontay Johnson this year. Just not me. I think he's talented. I think he can be good, somewhat good of a receiver. He's kind of a head case, and that's hard to predict. That's like, really hard to know. I want to check this guy out, Gage. So he's not even in the player pool. The player that Jeffrey was suggesting, I've never heard of him, so I'm interested to know more. Jeffrey, tell me more about this Gage fellow that you're suggesting. Never even heard of him. I'll probably just take Alec Pierce here. Give myself another wide receiver that I really like. I've been taking a ton of Alec Pierce. You see Javonte Williams falling to pick 170 plus. Maybe I should have just taken a little bit of Javonte. This is the cheapest I've ever seen him go. 176 for Javonte Williams, but I'm so out on him. Like, I just don't think he adds anything to your team. Even though I have him like ranked in the 150 range, I probably could move him even further back from there. I'm almost never drafting him. I didn't even take him at pick 174. He didn't really fit my build. I just took Rashad White and Tyler Algier back to back. So it's like, felt like the time to circle back to receiver, get Alec Pierce here. Also, keeping tabs, speaking of players rising, Anthony Richardson goes pick 152. That's the highest I've seen him go in a long time. So he's definitely rising up fast. Coming up on the board, pick 187 and then 198. I've got 3 picks left in this Best Ball Mania team. Yo, what up, Jeff T? You grabbed Hawk. Oh, I love that. I think Hawk's a still good pick. Some people are worried about his injury situation, so maybe that's why he's falling a little bit. My boy, Jaden Blue. Yeah, I'm in on Blue. I mean, you guys have heard it from me plenty, but he's electric. He's fast. Great pass catcher. Okay, 2.562. I could take one more running back and call it a day. Taj Brooks seems kind of fun. Otherwise, I'm looking at tight ends and players I don't really like that much. So I'll grab Taj Brooks there, finish out this running back room. Probably just going to end up with 6 running backs: James Cook, Kenneth Walker, Tony Pollard, Rashad White, Tyler Algier, and Taj Brooks. I think I'm covered there. My bye weeks and all my bases, some nice diversity on the teams that I've drafted. Got Lamar Jackson and Jordan Love up top. Both of them stacked up. Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown, Matthew Golden, Brandon Ayuk, Trey Harris, Alec Pierce, Mark Andrews, and Tucker Kraft. I probably am going to consider taking, obviously, one more wide receiver. And then the question is, like, do I take a third tight end or another running back? Receiver-wise, I don't really have any bye week issues either. I'll take Hopkins for the stack with Lamar. He's there. I mean, ADP-wise, it's one of the top picks. I'm not really in on Shipley. Michael Wilson's fine. K. Dotton there's kind of a nice pick. There's been some hype on the other Buccaneers tight end, Culp. So I don't know if K. Dotton's going to get some more competition. I think it's Devin Culp. Let's see. The Buccaneers. Yeah, tight end 2, Devin Culp. He doesn't really get drafted, but he's getting some good hype that he's a decent pass catcher. I don't know. K. Dotton at pick 199, probably a pretty good pick. I feel like I'm good enough at running back and wide receiver to just take the third tight end. I'm trying to figure out what else would I need here on this team. Like, okay, what am I missing? I've got Lamar Jackson and Jordan Love. I'm covered at QB. Stick with those two. Feel strong. Running back wise, James Cook, if he holds out, I need some early season upside. I got Ken Walker there, Pollard, Rashad White, Algier, and Taj Brooks. Maybe take another running back. The receivers seem pretty strong. I've got Ayuk out a little bit. Trey Harris facing more competition. Alec Pierce, DeAndre Hopkins. Tight end, Mark Andrews, Kraft. Let me think. I'm kind of leaning tight end. I'm gonna go whatever. I'll go Freiermuth. Last second, he's at the week 5 bye, so I thought maybe I should just take Juwan Johnson over him because it's Tucker Kraft, but Mark Andrews can cover in week 5. I'm just looking for like season-long score, flooring score, scoring floor for the tight end position, and kind of a luxury pick. So I'm whatever. Freiermuth in the 18th round seems totally fine. 2673 build. Let me catch up with y'all. I had to get locked in on those last couple rounds in this first Best Ball Mania. I'm about to jump right back into another one. So get ready if you want to draft with me. Get it queued up. Appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you slap the like on your way in. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Come say what up in the chat and check out bestballoverlay.com. Use code GARAGE to get 25% off your premium subscription when you sign up. DM me if you're interested. Follow me on Twitter at FFB Garage as well. All right, let's catch up with the boys. Copy paste dates. What's up, brother? How many game suspension do I think Rice gets? Feels like 4 to 5. I honestly have no idea. I've not been keeping up to date on what the current situation is. I'm assuming it's somewhere between 4 and 6. It sounds like it could be 6. Is kind of what I've been thinking lately. So that's pretty severe. That's a lot of the season to miss. So I've moved Rashee Rice on the assumption he misses 6 games, but then comes back fully healthy. I've moved him to the 4-5 turn. So I'm taking him around pick 50 to 55. And he doesn't end up there a lot. He's still going in the mid 40s range. What about you, copy paste? What do you think? 8 games reduced to 6. Ooh, that would be something. Sean, he's hit the Eliminator a lot lately. And then Best Ball Mania to grab even more Keenan. Yeah, I kind of pushed it too far tonight, but in my first draft, I just wanted to see, what the situation was. I was able to grab Trey Harris at 139, which I think is a fair price. Seems fine. Kind of the same bet you'd make on a guy like Kyle Williams, or where we were taking Jack Besh when he was the presumed starter. Besh has fallen a lot, but I think 139 for Trey Harris is fine. We'll kind of see. Maybe I won't take him in the next draft, see where he goes. I would have had to take Keenan Allen at pick 163, and I probably should have. I just pivoted to running back, so I took Algier there, and then Keenan goes 165. Ha, that's funny. That's so true, Jeff. Yo, what up, Eddie? How you doing, brother? Hope you're having a great Tuesday night. Thanks for stopping in, saying what up. What are you drafting tonight? What are you getting into? Dr. B. Harris has done 112 Best Ball Manias. Very nice. I'm somewhere close, but not that far along yet. I've been saving a bunch of the bullets for later in the season, but I think I've done more than 90. What's up, Parker? Any worries with Ladd? I would say no. I think Ladd is safe. The argument I've been hearing, is that yes, in Keenan Allen's, where he would fit best would be the slot. And that's where Ladd McConkey's playing. So there is some kind of concern, but I think Ladd is one of the best receivers in the league. It's wheels up. He's a top 10 receiver in the league right now. So I have faith that they can figure out how to use Keenan Allen without sacrificing any usage of Ladd whatsoever. I think Ladd can earn the targets. It'll be just fine. So I'm not moving Ladd at all right now. Yo, what up, Nick? Over Dobbs is crazy. Not gonna lie. Well, I've got him close. I said I've got Keenan Allen 1 spot or 2 spots after Dobbs. I think my official rankings go Dobbs, Quentin Johnston, and then Keenan Allen, and I've got him 143, 144, 145. So I mean, I let him slide a little bit here. I could have taken any of those 3 guys at pick 150. Maybe should have done it. Keenan going in the 15th. Yeah, he went in the 14th here, so he's going to continue to rise. I thought I could get lucky and push him to the 15th, but I just wanted to see my first draft of the day, where Keenan goes on the news. Yo, what up, Jake? Keenan just went 177 in a flock draft. See, yeah, perfect example. If Keenan had gone 177, I would have grabbed him at 174. So if he would have come back around in round 15, I would have got him there. I think that's what we're going to see tonight is Keenan going anywhere from pick 150 to pick 177 kind of range like you were seeing. And then by tomorrow, he's going to be going anywhere from pick 135 to 160 consistently. and then he's going to settle somewhere around pick 140 or 130 is what I'm just like guessing what feels right. Yeah, nice. Got the bags of the Keenan going. I was being a little bit more conservative. I was hammering Keenan at some points this offseason, but I only have 13% in Best Ball Mania, and then across all my tournaments, I'm like 11%. So a little bit heavier in Best Ball Mania actually, but pretty consistent. So I'm one and a half times the field, which I think feels nice. I'll keep taking him. I'll chase him up too. I'm not afraid to keep chasing him. Yeah, that could have worked. I thought about it too. I'm still in on Jordan Love, so I think the way I played it, where I have the double stack with Golden and Tucker Craft, is kind of fine. But yeah, I'm starting to see Blue rise up the board, so I'll keep note of that and take him even further ahead of ADP than I was considering. Yeah, for Keenan Allen, wide receiver 5, I think it makes sense. 56 shares, nice. I know, Jeff T, and I've done it before. I've done it with like Drake May and Justin Fields teams. I've done it with Stroud and Herbert. I've done it with. I don't know if I've done it with McCarthy and Goff in quite a while, but I've done it. I've done it with plenty of these combos. I think it's fine. Yo, what up, this bandit? How we doing tonight? Hope you're having a great Tuesday, my friend. Thanks for being here. Keenan Allen, sure. I mean, let's look at the game logs. I mean, Keenan Allen was good last year. He was very good. He played 15 games for the Bears. He had a lot of air yards, didn't have a whole lot of receiving yards, still had a good amount of receiving touchdowns, still had a decent amount of targets and receptions that he earned. Not very explosive, we know that. But the game log wise, you know, and this is PPR scoring, but he's a top 10, top 12 wide receiver in week 6. Does it again in week 12, week 13, week 15. In week 16, he's wide receiver 2. So maybe he can get it done in week 17. Maybe he can hold on and have some nice weeks. That's like 4 or 5 spike weeks there that would hit your lineup as a serious, top 12 wide receiver on the week. If he's 50% of that, he pays off his ADP. So we should be hammering Keenan Allen. Now that I know where other people are taking him in kind of the 170s range, I'm gonna make him a priority target in this round 14 160s range. Probably, if I can get him there. Yo, what up, Krios? How you doing, my friend? Yeah, the drafters are definitely getting hit. That's what's up. FFB Explorer. Okay, so he's an undrafted free agent. He's 5'8", 170 pounds. Larvadian. I haven't heard of this guy. He's not in the contestant pool. He doesn't exist. So I can't draft him because he doesn't exist. I've Gage Larvadian. Never heard of this guy. South Carolina. He has no age. He's small. He has no production. Let's pull him up. He's on the Browns. College stats. He played at Miami of Ohio. Shout out Ben Roethlisberger. Some action. He played at South Carolina. So he's playing Division II before that. Almost no production. Interesting shout. I mean, y'all are funny for getting me to like learn a new player's name at this point in the summer. But yeah, maybe for like deep dynasty. Definitely not for Best Ball Mania. Yeah, Alec Pierce is so good. He is one of my favorite clicks this summer. I'm way in on Alec Pierce. Yeah, for sure, Jeff T. I'm right there with you. He's one of my tops. We'll see, Jake. I don't know. I've been back and forth. I was drafting some Danny Dimes. Uh, I typed in Danny, like I was going to type in Danny Dimes. I was up to like 10% Daniel Jones. I'm back down to 5%. And then Anthony Richardson, I had 0%, and I've got up to 2.5%. So honestly, and that's only Best Ball Manias. If I do all tournaments, I think I've got some more. Nope, hardly. So yeah, I don't have a lot of Anthony Richardson. I've got him on some slow drafts right now. So it feels like I have more, but I don't have a lot of the Colts quarterbacks. I do have a ton of Alec Pierce. So maybe I need to adjust something there because it seems a little bit off to have no Colts quarterbacks and a ton of Alec Pierce, but I'll play it through Pierce. Maybe he's just quarterback proof. Cade Otton, win sprint king, somewhat. I think so too, Jake. With Cade Stover, so like I've been following the Texans and they seem like they are hyping up. They are hyping up the whole tight end room. Dalton Schultz is getting some love. He's been going undrafted, going late. I had a whole lot of Dalton Schultz to start the summer. I haven't clicked him in months, and I still have 11%. I'm afraid that Cade Stover could take some of his snap share, could take over some of his role. So I don't really take a lot. But Cade Stover, a deep name, just kind of hard to click him when there's so many other tight ends available that actually are like the de facto starting starting tight end on their team who are going undrafted. Juwan Johnson, you could say, the upside of Terrence Ferguson is pretty nice. So it's close, unless we got some big news. Freiermuth, a solid pick. I think he's fine, right? Not bad. Yo, what up, Pat? How we doing tonight? Thanks for dropping in. Hope you're having a great Tuesday night, my friend. Just caught the message. You know me, scrolling through, catching up with the boys in the chat after this Best Ball Mania draft. News been flooding in lately. Yes. Yeah, Nick, you're not wrong. For sure, a lot of news. Yeah, 163. Okay, we're clocking that. 163. We're going to take Keenan Allen. What did I say in round 15? Round 15? No, he'll be gone by round 15. We're taking Keenan Allen in round 14. Keenan Allen round 14 tonight, and then tomorrow round 13. Depending on how many drafts we do, that could shift. Fly Eagles fly. What's up? Doing another draft? Yes, sir. Getting right back into a Best Ball Mania draft very soon. Appreciate you being here. OMG. Gonna have 0 Keenan. Well, I don't know. Yo, what up, Steve? How you doing, brother? Hope you're having a great Tuesday night. Getting some drafts in, my friend. Got Putt Daddy in here. What's up, brother? OG Putt Daddy. Putt Daddy, are you setting lineups this week for the FedEx Cup playoffs? We're starting off in Memphis. Daniel Berger. What about, for my one and done, I have not used Xander Schauffele yet, so I put him in my lineup, but I don't know. What are you doing? Let me know. Let me know what you're doing this week. 162 Best Ball Mania I just did. Incredible. You got your Keenan Allen at 162. I think that's a good range. No lineups, but definitely watching. There you go. I've done like 6 or 7 battle royales for the FedEx Cup for this first Thursday slate. I'll do like another 10 or 15 more. Just trying to get as many Scotty Scheffler teams as I possibly can, right? All right, I'm going to jump right back into another Best Ball Mania. I'm going to throw it into the chat and let y'all know when I enter. So go ahead and queue it up. When you see it in the chat, go ahead and entering now. If you're watching YouTube, come say what up in the chat, and let's get into another Best Ball Mania draft. This one auto-filled. So you guys were ready. We got OMG Godlike in the 9 spot. I'm in the 11. Who else we got in here? Man, filled up quick. You are gonna have to wait for the next one. Oh, got sniper in the 5 spot. Uh-oh. Yeah, right. OMG. Yeah, right. You were ready. You were queued up. You're like the only one who got in. I don't believe that for a second. I'm in the 11. I love the 11 spot. Yeah, Sniper is a nice name. That's pretty funny. Let's go through the names. Who we got in here? We've got the names Gray at the 101. Aaron 56. M Dime Glio. Winners, Win, and Whatnot in the 4. We got Sniper in the 5. Incredible name. Thomas Brown in the 6. OD Body Rescue in the 7. Westbot 808 in the 8. It's very fitting. OMG Godlike 101 in the 9. With a brother. Dink Piece in the 10. Is that Dinkmeyer? And then I'm in the 11. Telly 1974 in the 12. Let me figure that out. Is that Dinkmeyer? Dink Piece. I think it is. Usually Drew Dinkmeyer goes by Dink Piece on at least DraftKings and some of these other sites. So I'm going to assume that's Dink. I doubt he's in here watching with us, but if he is, what's up, brother? Hope you're having a great night. And appreciate y'all all being here. Let's get into this draft. I'm about to be back on the clock in the 11 spot. Let's see what we can get into. It feels like a Nico Collins team. Come on now. Nico Collins or Monra, Brian Thomas. Perfect. We got it. Let's do it. A Nico Collins team from the 11 spot. Can't go wrong now. Ooh, perfect timing to bring up the best ball overlay combination tool and see which players I haven't comboed Nico Collins with in Best Ball Mania. I haven't done them with Achan, but I've done them with Genty, with Henry, with London, AJ Brown, McConkey. I haven't done them with Bowers or Bucky, so I could bring up Bucky. I could probably bring up Chase. No, I've done them with Chase Brown, which is kind of surprising. Yeah, Achan goes is what I was expecting. I'll take him with Genty. I'll take another Genty team. I don't mind it at all. Don't mind that start. Nico Collins and Ashton Genty. Let's go. I don't know how long it's been since we last rolled the Genty clip. It feels like it's been a while. We were clicking Genty a lot more back in May. But a Nico Genty start, why not? Stacking is optional for many teams. You're right about that. We'll see, though. People tend to catch on. We'll see. I love it. Hey, you got Jeff T has an AI agent running his YouTube. I'm not surprised. We're living in the future. Drafting against robots half the time anyways. All right, who can I get to come back around at pick 35 and then 38? How do I want to play this with Nico and Ashton Genty? I want to assume Nico's going to be the receiver you need, right? So play it like that. I want to assume Genty hits his ceiling outcome. He's the next coming of rookie year Saquon Barkley. So let's assume that. How do I want to play it given both of those situations? Genty is smashing all season long. Nico Collins is healthy and doing very well. Incredible output. Knowing those two things, how else should I draft like the rest of this team? Pick 35, pick 38 coming up. Let's see what OMG is about to do. He's about to be on the clock. He started with McCaffrey in London. We got Dink starting with Amon-Ra and Derrick Henry. LOL. Hating on Genty. Oh, Lamar Jackson, 32 of a nice pick there. I'm up next. Trey McBride at 33, incredible. Omarion Hampton, 34, a great pick. I will take Xavier Worthy here based on my ranks. Looking for maybe Kittle or Jaden Daniels, T-Mac with my next pick. Daniels goes. McLaurin goes. Do I want Breece Hall? Not really. George Kittle. Welcome to the squad. I've started off Nico Collins, Ashton Genty, Xavier Worthy, and George Kittle. Let me hope at pick 59 and 62, I'll have access to some running backs that I like. But I've got a nice wide receiver start and an elite tight end. I'm jealous of OMG Godlike. Getting Trey McBride at pick 33, that's actually a really great value. Incredible. That's the latest I've seen Trey McBride go in a little while. I have seen him go there before, but it's rare. It's rare to see that happen. Yes, sir, Putt Daddy. Yeah. Yeah, incredible, right? And so that plus his season winnings, his sponsorships, and everything else going on, Scotty's the man. No doubt about it. That's what I'm saying too. It's like when I set these lineups, when I draft these teams for any given PGA event where Scotty Scheffler's in the field, it feels awful if you don't have Scotty Scheffler on your team. He goes at the 101 in all of these drafts. So it's almost like if you even want to compete in these, you have to draft like X number of teams before you get one Scotty Scheffler team and then rinse and repeat, because your only chance of winning these things is going to be some variation of a Scotty Scheffler start. And if you only get him 1/6 of the time, if you're lucky, if you're at the field average, then it's like, what are we even doing? It's crazy. I was listening to Rick Rungood and the rest of the crew on the Second Cut pod earlier today. They were doing their review, their like preview for this week's tournament. And in Rick's model, in his custom model, it was spitting out Russell Henley as being the top choice, the number one best suited golfer for this week to take down the tournament. And I thought that was pretty interesting, but he is having a good year. He's a good golfer. I think it was what came down to was Scotty Scheffler is like 41st in driving accuracy in like the last, let's just say, month or so, or 2 months, whatever the last 28 rounds is, probably even further than 2 months. But so like it was, they were really kind of docking Scotty for his driving accuracy. And this is a course that it's better for more accurate drivers. I'm gonna grab James Conner here. James Conner famously on each of the last 2 winning Best Ball Mania teams. If you didn't know. So James Conner was on the winning squad. He was a 9th round pick last year on El Guru 50's winning Best Ball Mania team. He was an 8th round pick the year before on Fareed's Best Ball Mania winning team. Harvey goes. Yes, Samuel's there. I'm going to have access to get Travion Henderson, and that's exactly who I want with this pick. So I've started off with my first 6 picks. I've got a 0-3-2-1 build with Nico Collins, Ashton Genty, Xavier Worthy, George Kittle. Then I took James Conner and Travion Henderson. So starting with 3 running backs and 2 receivers plus the elite tight end from this spot on the board. And I'm looking ahead. I think my wide receiver combos that I can get at picks 83 and 86 are more attractive to me than the running back combos I can necessarily get there. And so I want to hammer some running backs early when I can still get guys that I like James Conner, Travion Henderson. And I'll see, maybe I get really, really lucky and some of my favorite kind of round 7 wide receivers fall to pick 83. We'll see what happens. We'll see how lucky we can get. James Conner, the 101. I mean, the dude is the 101 in forced missed tackles in 2024. He's the 101 in running back elusive rating. James Conner is a guy you might just need in fantasy football. He's averaged consistently 15 plus fantasy points per game over the last 3 seasons. Before that, even higher. And very explosive. The number 5 overall in explosive plays and explosive plays from rushing plays from the running back position. His advanced stats, like I was saying, number 1 in juke rate, number 1 in evaded tackles. So James Conner, I don't think much has changed in Arizona. I think Trey Benson, he's getting a little bit of hype, that he can have a bigger role, but it's James Conner season until otherwise noticed. He got hurt and did nothing for you? Did James Conner miss a game? I honestly don't remember. What did he miss? Oh, because he missed week 17. Okay. That's the part. He was a smash in week 15 and 16. I mean, he got you there. He got you there at least, right? But that's actually kind of par for the course. A lot of times players can get you to week 16 or 17 and they end up getting injured themselves. Oh, kind of bad luck. Ends up being not exactly who I want. At wide receiver. So I'm going to pivot. I'm going to go one more running back. Start very strong. I'll grab Tony Pollard there. Make Telly take... He's the double stack with McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, and Jaden Daniels. I'll make him take Patrick Mahomes over, me. I don't think he will. So then do I go Mahomes or do I want to take, and I probably do I want to go Higgins? Man. I'm going to go Higgins. It's kind of crazy, but I'll pass up Mahomes there because I really need the wide receiver depth, and it's going to start getting late at wide receiver pretty quick. We're not yet in the QB pocket, and I've got some degree of confidence I could get really lucky and Purdy could come back around to 107. If not, I think I've got a good shot of getting Stroud at 131. And to me, I just don't think Mahomes is worth the trade-off. That's tough, though. The Rice drafter, he took him pretty early. So Rashi Rice, 41, but that drafter already has Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. So Mahomes goes completely unstacked, right? Which is typical this time of year, just like Jeff T was saying. And I bet you that Thomas Brown in the sixth spot, who just took Mahomes, is looking to take Travis Kelce at pick 102. It's about the best way you can backstack it. Yeah, week 17. I just forgot that. I didn't have Connor on a week 17 team, so I totally forgot that. Hammer Mixon the rest of Best Ball Mania. I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense to me. In this one, Mixon went pick 80. I still have Pollard ahead of him just because of the health. But after Pollard, I'm pretty open to taking Joe Mixon. I think Higgins was the right pick there because now I can double stack the Texans with like Stroud. But if I had taken Mahomes, I'd be really in a tough spot for my wide receiver 3. I'm already kind of in a tough spot for my wide receiver 4. I was hopeful that one of these guys like Reed, Judy, Downs, maybe even Godwin would fall to 83. I don't know how I'm not like crazy about Godwin right now. We don't have a lot of good news on him either. 107 coming up, then 110. Cool. Receiver wise, honestly, we've already hit that zone, but I think what I would do is take Bateman. Take Bateman there, get a nice 4, and then I'll get Purdy. I don't think Telly 1974 would take Purdy over Kyler Murray or Justin Fields, given he has the double stacked Jaden Daniels. He was probably also looking for a receiver. So now he grabs ETN. He's going to be reaching for a receiver here, I'm guessing. Probably Trey Harris or Marvin Mims. So to me, with Luther Burden already gone to OMG Godlike, yeah, he grabs Murray. So I'll grab Brock Purdy here now. Kind of my plan comes together. I think the arbitrage on Jaden Higgins plus Brock Purdy stacked with Kittle is a better choice for me in this draft than getting Patrick Mahomes stacked with Xavier Worthy plus what most likely would have been forced into Trey Harris. So I think I made the right choice there with the given our new news on the Charger situation. But yeah, getting Brock Purdy at 110, totally fine with me. What's the difference between Brock Purdy and Mahomes when in fact over the last 2 seasons, Purdy scored 300 and 279 and Mahomes has scored 294 and 293. So not too different. And honestly, we're not really playing for season long scoring as it is. We're looking for that week 17. Who is the quarterback you need? So could it be Mahomes? Could it be Brock Purdy? I think the odds are pretty similar. It's so August. I know, Kriot, isn't it? It is August, but this is fun. This is what we've waited for. I've saved up a bunch of these Best Ball Mania bullets to fire them off in August, get some volume in here. So I'm excited. True, true, Jeff. I think we're there. I think it's the name brand. It's the name equity that keeps him up so high on the draft board. I've always kind of suggested that if we blinded the team and the player name, if instead of saying Patrick Mahomes, QB, Kansas City Chiefs, we said QB who finished position X, QB number whatever on a team that was Y in scoring or X in passing touchdowns. Like if we kind of blinded it to the names of the players so we didn't know, I think it'd be a lot different of like our results on how we draft, which is kind of an idea in its own on how to like protect yourself from the biases, but Stroud. Is there any reason that this guy, he took Jaden Daniels and Kyler Murray? There's no way he's going to take Stroud from me. So what I do here is I either take Trey Harris or I could take, Mims is there. I'll just take Trey. I guess I'm gonna keep chasing Trey Harris's falling value. I don't know. Who else do I grab there? I've got enough running backs that I like. I'll grab the rookie Trey Harris. He continues to fall. So last draft, I took him 30 spots past ADP. I get him about 24 spots past ADP here. I'm just very confident that Telly is not going to draft CJ Stroud. And so I would still prefer Trey Harris over Kyle Williams, especially as a bring back for me on this team as my wide receiver 5 to go with my stack of Texans. And it works out. Demario Douglas going pick 133. That's the earliest I've ever seen him go. I tweeted out today, and follow me on Twitter at FFB Garage if you don't already. I tweeted out something today. I'll share it with y'all here, and I'll bring it over. So I get my CJ Stroud double stack. That feels good. Let me show you guys this thing. Shout out to Farshi. Let me pull it up. Okay. I tweeted this out today. It's an excerpt, a screenshot from The Athletic that I read pretty much most mornings, especially during training camp. This is from the Patriots training camp. A little note, and if you read between the lines here, there's some good information, right? Austin Hooper, tight end 2. He missed the start of camp. He looks like he'll be the number 2 tight end in an offense that will likely use 3 wide receiver formations less than the rest of the league. Okay, well, what does that mean? Well, paired with the information that Steph Diggs looks fully healthy, he's going to be playing in 2 wide sets. Their number 1 wide receiver. We also have Mac Hollins back from injury. He had his first day of practice today, running with the starters, running with the first team. So in 2 wide sets, it's looking like Steph Diggs and Mac Hollins, which means, and we already knew this, Demario Douglas is playing in the slot. He's technically the wide receiver 3. He's the slot receiver. He's going to have to be competing with Mac Hollins for an outside role, which I don't even know how much he'll do. But if the Patriots are already not a great offense, and maybe they do take a step forward, but if they're running, one of the league low rates of 3 wide sets, and then Demario Douglas is getting cut out of the picture when they're running with 2 tight ends, what does that say for Demario Douglas? Even more so, what does it say for a guy like Kyle Williams, who's going to have to compete with Demario Douglas in the slot and Mac Hollins out wide, who is a veteran, who has a lot of the trust of the team and kind of has his own swag to go with it. So I think Kyle Williams and Demario Douglas a little bit expensive. Kyle Williams, very expensive. He's the rookie. He's explosive. He can have some big plays. Maybe he pays off later in the season when it counts. So maybe he's fine. Demario Douglas, though, I'm going to stop taking so much. I wasn't clicking him early in the summer. I came back around last month. I'm kind of backing off a little bit now. Coming up on pick 155 and 158. I've got a 2-4-5-1 build with Purdy and Stroud. The running backs, very solid. The receivers, I could use some depth. I could use some falling value. Let's see who's there at pick 155. Okay, well, this is the Keenan Allen team. I said I would take him here. Time to prove it. I think I just go ahead and pull the trigger. Otherwise, I do like Ford. I wonder how much this drafter likes Ford. I could take Cedric Tillman. If not, I'm going to go ahead and grab Keenan Allen. Two Texans, two Chargers receivers on this squad. 155. That's probably the new record for how high Keenan Allen has gone in a Best Ball Mania. I think he's still worth it. Hopefully I can get Ford here. See, Pat Bryant at 156 to me is too rich. Garendo should fall a little bit with the injury. Otherwise, would have been a nice stacking piece to go with this team, with me, with Purdy. Yeah, I was considering Tillman there a lot, actually. So 158. I'm not in love with Brenton Strange and like the tight end options. I think for QB, there's no obvious stacking partner for me. If I did take a QB3, I've got Kittle, so I can continue to push tight end. I don't want to push it too much further, but I don't really see Brenton Strange being all that different in my ranks from Ertz, Hunter Henry, Johnny Smith, Gesicki. So what I'll do there is instead, I took Keenan Allen, who's going to be aggressively rising up the board. I took Jerome Ford, who should be the Browns' RB1. And then worst case scenario, he's splitting duties with Sampson and or Quinshon Judkins. But early season upside for Ford is pretty high. Just, I don't know how good the Browns are going to be. Maybe it's not a team worth having a piece of. I've got 5 running backs that I feel good about. I've got 6 receivers. I'm going to definitely go with 8 receivers in this build. So I'm looking to take, some more depth, some more players who can play, get a lot of snaps and on different offenses, and then one more tight end. So it's looking like a 2-5-8-2 at minimum, and then I have a luxury pick at the very end. So I'm going to think about how I want to spin that, and probably taking another tight end sooner than later. It could be Jeff T. It could be this time of year. You're not wrong. Oh, there we go, Putt Daddy. Yeah, that'll do it for you. Yo, 2 mules in a cart. My friend, an OG Packers fan. What's up? Just noticed you don't have super chats. Yes, sir. So, fun fact, you do have to have 500 subscribers to unlock members, to unlock super chats. So we're still working towards that goal. We'll get there. We'll get there one day. But I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being a subscriber. And we're getting close. I think we're at like 420 right now. The goal is to hit 500 before the start of the NFL season. I think I can get there, but I need y'all's help. If you're watching this now and you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Consider throwing me a sub. Do it for ya boy. I'm trying to get there to 500. That's my goal. And let me go Ertz with this one. I'll take the tight end first, and then come back around, and either Thielen or Marks could be a good pick on this team. I usually don't take as much marks. It could be fun with the Texans stack I've got going. I definitely don't need another running back just yet, though, so kind of skeptical about it. Thielen seems like a better pick here. I definitely need more wide receiver production as it is, considering I have such like a late wide receiver build. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to take Thielen here. It was nice to get the tight end out of the way. Okay, well Thielen goes. I don't love any of these other tight ends. I'll use this luxury pick on Woody Marks, and then I'll grab a couple more wide receivers to finish this draft out, I think, in round 17, 18. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, if you're watching this in the future, make sure you're subscribed. It's free for you. It would help me out a ton, and I appreciate you guys. Come say what up in the chat. Come draft with me. Come talk ball. Get in here. There's a ton of sharp people in the community. You know, this is a little place we call the Fantasy Football Garage. We're in the garage. I'm Chris the Candyman, and I'm going to be drafting best ball teams all summer long. I already have been. We're still going. Like and subscribe. Hartman and I drafted an FFPC high stakes redraft team in the Big Gorilla tournament. I think we're going to do one more in like the next, probably 2 weeks or so. We've also got PPR Tyler's Dynasty Startup Draft this coming Sunday night. So I think he's going to be streaming it. I'm probably going to be streaming it. I'll have Bindles on. Me and Bindles are co-managing a team. We have the 102 in a Startup Dynasty Draft. There's a bunch of friends in this league. Guys you know, guys you love. Steve is in the league. BBG is in the league. Who else we got? We got Anthony, Best Ball on call. A ton of good guys. Hartman's in the league. A ton of good guys. You know, the list goes on. So excited for that. That'll be this Sunday night. And then another new episode of the Ballsy Show with Bindles and I co-hosting. It's this coming Monday. So 6 days from now here on the channel. And we haven't officially announced our guest yet, but it's going to be another good one, another banger. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed for that. Come hang out with us, draft some Best Ball Mania teams. We had a fun one last night on Bindle's channel with Ryan Heath from Fantasy Points, and we talked some ball. We drafted a Best Ball Mania team. The results, we'll see. We'll see how the team turns out. It was a different build for sure, but it was a lot of fun. Always good to have on some new friends, some new faces, and some great guests. So yeah, that's what we got going on here. Just drafting best ball teams the rest of the summer. The Dynasty startups coming around. We'll do some more redraft. And I just appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you slap the like. Let's make these last 2 picks. OMG Godlikes on the clock. Then it's Dinkmeyer and then myself. I'm looking to take some wide receivers. Michael Wilson's still there. Kind of a falling value. Could just be nice to do. I think I'll grab Michael Wilson. It seems like a decent pick here. And then I don't need another running back or QB. What do I want to do? Chicago, Indy. Chargers, Las Vegas. Zacchaeus. Is Zacchaeus worth drafting? He's pretty damn good last year on the Commanders. Do I get the third tight end? I've got 2 guys. There could be some injury risk. Jatavian Sanders getting a lot of camp hype. Dalton Schultz with the stack. Michael Wilson, Keenan Allen, Trey Harris, Rashad Bateman, Jaden Higgins, Xavier Worthy, Nico Collins. I think those 7 could get it done. Let's go Dalton Schultz. 2-6-7-3 build. I mean, I took Keenan Allen where I did I've got really strong running backs. I'm going to have a running back in the flex most weeks between Henderson, Pollard, and Ford. I did a super team stack on the Texans, which is kind of a stupid move considering they have one of the worst offensive lines. But hey, real life football and fantasy football, not always the same thing. Nico, Xavier Worthy, Jaden Higgins, Rashad Bateman, Trey Harris, Keenan Allen, Michael Wilson. Got 2 on week 12, 2 on week 6, but otherwise no big issues. And all of the running backs have different bye weeks except for Connor and Genty up top. But I think I got that covered. Some tight end depth. I like this is a way to play it, This is a way to do it. I'm not really playing it through the Niners. I'm mostly playing it through the Texans and the Chargers. I have Stroud with Michael Wilson bring back for week 15, Ashton Genty bring back in week 16, Trey Harris and Keenan Allen bring backs for week 17. Not only that, I've got James Conner, with the week 15, him and Michael Wilson, so team stacked there. Pollard does play the Niners in week 15, and just a good value pick as it is. Any other minis that I built out? Not really. Fun squad, a huge bet on the Texans not being completely garbage, and then some nice high value running back picks. 2, 6, 7, 3. Putt Daddy's a Chiefs fan? I don't remember if I knew that or not. Interesting. Better real life than in fantasy. Hopefully Simmons is a real deal at left tackle to give Mahomes some more time to throw. Man, that's the real solution, right? It's like if you guys can help Mahomes have more time in the pocket, key. That's major. That's like the major key. We saw it in the Super Bowl. Mahomes was running for his life against the Eagles. Very robust, stout defensive line and their defensive attack and on the pass rush. So I think that makes sense for me. Fun team. Let's do a quick review of OMG Godlike's team since he's a real pal. He's been here drafting with us, chilling. 3-5-8-2 build. Penix, Richardson, Sam Darnold. I like that room. Some late value. Let's see what you did with Penix. I'm guessing you have him stacked with London, right? If I remember correctly. Richardson is a fun pick. Where did you get Richardson again? So yeah, you do have Drake London. Love that. Love to see it. You got the nice value on Trey McBride. Josh Downs to go with Tyler Warren to go with Jaden Blue at 129 and then Richardson 153. This is sick. Alec Pierce 177. This is a nice squad. You got Torrey Horton at 208. Man, you got Bill Krosky Merritt at 184. You're getting all of the risers. Dante Thornton at 160. Get your guy season. Luther Burden 105. I think I love this team. Caleb, I don't know what to think about Caleb. I was more in on Caleb a month ago. It's tough right now. Kind of a same thing for Brees. You got CMC up top though, so you can't go wrong. This is a banger. I like this OMG Godlike. This is a nice squad. 3-5-8-2. Get the late QB with upside with Penix, Darnold, Anthony Richardson. The running back room looks very nice. The wide receivers, no complaints. And then McBride with Warren. Man, you cooked on this one. That's a fun team. Some good stacks. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see what Dinkmeyer did just for fun. Dink piece 3-5-7-3. Mayfield, Love, Ward. The good QB room. Derrick Henry and Hampton. Mason, Charbonnet, Dowdle. A nice running back room for sure. Amon-Ra. JSN, Calvin Ridley. So Olave. Godwin coming back healthy. Grabbing a lot of targets. Dobbs. And then Wandale. So the target guys. A lot of targets there. Goddard, Okonkwo, Freiermuth. Damn. Another really nice team in this room. Love to see it. Trey Harris as a bring back on Houston. Works well with the team. Yeah, it works fine, right? No complaints. Took my first rice today. Feels nauseous. You never know. You never know. We'll see. I think I'm a little bit waiting on some news. I'm anticipating a 6-game suspension, which is a lot of the regular season. So I don't know. Don't understand pop and half point BR. Kind of a good point. I mean, we're looking for a year 3 breakout. So I'm on the fence. I've been in and out both ways. I can see it. Get in the circle. Hey, speaking of Anthony, my brother, make sure you're liking the channel. Make sure you're subscribed, and make sure you get in the circle. Clicking all over the place. Boom. The circle of trust. Get in the circle. Subscribe to the channel. Help me hit my goal, hitting 500 subscribers before the start of the NFL season. We're getting pretty close. I think we can do it. We've got 421 subscribers right now. If you happen to be watching this and you're not subscribed, do me a favor, hit the sub button. Throw on notifications if you want to come draft with us. Know when I'm going live. Drafting best ball teams almost every night. Having fun doing it, and I appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you slap that like button too. What are we out on? Pretty good on likes. We're at 19. Okay, I'm wrong. I thought I saw a higher number. 19 likes. We can do better than that. I'm about to hit another draft, but we got to get to at least. We got 29 people watching. We got to get to at least, I'll say 25 likes. We got to do at least 25 likes before I start this next draft. And also, let's see what we want to do. Do we want to get in on an eliminator? Do you guys want to do? I'm thinking Husky. I don't even know what's open right now. Let's just go look in the lobby. Hammer that like button. We need 6 more likes before this next draft. We'll get it started. We could see if we can fill a sprint. We've done some sprints in the last few streams. We've had some luck there. The Husky 2 could be fun. Eliminator, always a fun thing to get into as well. It's starting to fill pretty quickly. So I honestly thought the Eliminator would take a lot longer to fill. If it fills before Best Ball Mania does, then I'm not going to have that many teams, unfortunately. Weekly winners is almost filled. That's crazy. The Flock Community 3, they're on number 3 already. That's funny too, I guess. It is Tuesday. So they're releasing like 3 Flock Community contests per week. This is number 3. The Husky 2. I'm going to close the poll. If you haven't voted in the poll, make sure you vote on the poll now. Make sure you slap like on the channel. We got 22 likes. We got 28 watching. Hit the like, my friends. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel as well. 421 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 500 before the start of the NFL season. So get in the circle of trust. Come hang out with us. Say what up in the chat. I see some Husky votes. Okay, make sure you guys vote. Make sure you vote. I'm going to close out the poll in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to close the poll now. I think we're going to enter a Husky draft. Husky 2. Nick Box in for sure. All right, I'm closing the poll now. The question of the day. Every time I close the poll, I don't know where it goes. Let's see. Honestly, I can't see the results of the poll. I'm going to have to hit refresh. Okay, there it is. In the poll. No idea. No idea what's happening. Maybe YouTube is glitching. But it seems like 83% yes. Drafting Jordan Addison in the 6th round. So we're all in. We're all in on Jordan Addison. You guys are in. I'm in. Love to see it. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you're subscribed. We are going to be jumping in to another draft soon. We need 2 more likes. We're at 23 likes. We need 25 likes to get this thing going. Come on, guys. Let's do it. Do it for your boy. We'll catch up with y'all in the meantime. Do I like this view? I don't know. This is fine. Let me catch up with the bros. Shout out to Anthony, Best Ball on Call. He's been putting together some streams lately. Early in the mornings too. Surprise streams, but always good to see in the chat, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Chris B, my man. Always the kind words. Always the shout out. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here, brother. Hope you're having a good Tuesday night. 2 Mules is fading every Chiefs except for Royals. Interesting. I don't have a lot of Royals. I don't have a lot of Brashard Smith post NFL draft. Same thing with Royals. Okay, yeah, Simmons a good pick. We like that. Godlike, I like that team. Godlike, I like that team a lot. Okay, Putt Daddy's in on it. Notorious Chiefs fan. True, Crispy, 100%. I think we're getting a good value. He's a spike week guy. He's good. He's certified good. He's a touchdown guy. Jordan Addison. Didn't he win a Bolitnikoff in college? I want to say he did. I'm going to Google it just to confirm. Did Jordan Addison? I think you won it at. Yeah. He won the Bolitnikoff in 2021 at Pitt. And that was the whole reason. And then he went to USC. That was the whole reason that Kenny Pickett even got drafted, was because he was playing with Jordan Addison, who's a stud. Hey, appreciate you, my friend. Appreciate you. We're going to get into another draft super quick, super soon. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. And let's get back into another one. We're close. Hey, you're my guy. Appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words as always. Hit the like. Make sure you hit the like. We're at 23. Got to get to 25. We're doing a Husky 2. I'm not even sharing it. Here we go. We're doing a Husky 2 in a second or two. We just got to get these likes going. We got to get these likes up. We got to get these subs up. The intensity. But let's get back into it. I'll watch a Husky. Hell yeah. Doing a Drafters as we speak. There you go. Drafters is fun. The 2 spot. Genty Irving McBride. Unique. Or do you think there's like thousands like it? If you started Genty at the 102 and then you got Irving McBride, I think that's definitely unique. That's kind of a fun way to do it. Let's see how your wide receiver room turns out. But hey, I don't mind it. If you're trying to get unique, you're doing it there. Okay. So Chris is more of a round 7 for Addison. I think that's fair too. And I think he's going there somewhat. So you should be able to still get him. True. Yeah, Addison is just very good. That's interesting. That's not a bad point there. I think that's kind of what I was doing too. Yeah, the ballsy beat. Yes, sir, Anthony. Yes, sir. Get the vibes up. Support the stream. Subscribe for Chris. Much deserving. Hey, Crispy. Too kind, my man. We're going to get into it. You guys have been waiting long enough. Let's rip. We got 25 likes. We did it. Hey, shout out to y'all. Thank you. Let's. Oh, and another subscriber. Incredible. Wow. You guys know I don't like to beg. I don't like to self-promote too much. I try not to. We're just here to have fun, get some drafts in, but you guys made my night there. We got a few more subscribers, a few more likes than we would have had otherwise. Let's get right into this. When you see it in the chat, I'm entering the Husky 2. So if you see it in the chat, Nick, if you see it in the chat, anyone else who wants to jump in here too, I'm entering it. The stream sometimes lags a little bit. Hey, we're waiting on 7, so you guys will see this for sure. I think you're jumping in now. The Husky 2 does not exactly fill like super quickly. It fills fast enough, but you might have to wait, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You know what's crazy? The Husky 1 filled so fast. I had to join 5 slow drafts. Speaking of, I had to join on the clock in a Dalmatian right now. There we go. 17th round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had to join 5 slow Husky 1s to get that thing maxed. And I think I only entered 9. I think it closed before I got my last 10th Husky in. So I was like, whatever. That's fine. The next day, they open up the Husky 2. So had I known there'd be another Husky, I probably wouldn't have done any slows. I probably just would have said, you know what? I had gotten 4 or 5 fast drafts in. I'll wait for the Husky 2 and rip some more of those fast. But the tournament structure, let's look at it right now. Let's review what this thing is. It is a 3 out of 12, 2 out of 8, 1 out of 6, and then a 117 seat final with 11,000 entrants for $50,000 up top. If you make the finals, you're going to get $400, so you get your money back if you max. And if you finish in the top 10, $4,000, not bad. Finish in the top 5, you got 15 grand. A top 3 finish will put you at 27.5. So this is a nice little tournament. I'm interested. The $40 buy-in, it's steep, but this is the kind of tournament we've been looking for. Reminds me of the Chow Chows they've done in past years. And I've already got a bunch of volume in. Let me get in some of these smaller field, relatively smaller field, smaller final size tournaments. And maybe we can hit big. Who knows? Still waiting on 3 more people in this Husky 2 draft. How you guys doing on this Tuesday night? What are you guys drafting? How many best ball manias have you done? I think I've done like 92 or something. I'll have to check. I'll check in a second. Let me just retweet the I'm gonna quote this. Oh, Twitter error. Okay, I just tweeted it out. We've got another Husky 2 draft starting. Yo, what up, Bindles? My man. What's up, brother? Hope you're having a good Tuesday. Thanks for stopping in, of course, as always. Like I was saying earlier, Bindles and I, another banger of a ballsy show last night with Ryan Heath from Fantasy Points on Bindles' channel. So links in description. Go check it out. Make sure, even if it's for a second, go pop over there, hit like on the stream. Throw a comment out there too. Give us your ballsy take. Ryan's ballsy take, he said Brian Thomas Jr., 2,000-yard receiving season. My ballsy take, I said Chase Brown, RB1, the second half of the season, and during the fantasy football playoffs, weeks 15 to 17, the guy you need, Chase Brown. We had some fun takes, some fun times, a good draft. So go over there. We just filled this one. Go over there, hit the like, throw a comment in, give us a ballsy take, and then jump back over here and let's draft this one. Hey, look what we got here. We got Nick Bach in the 3, Mr. Chad Candles, my man, in the 2. We got BBG in the 5. Shout out to BBG. Pretty sure he's live right now. Who Hames in the 11. I'm gonna go pop over there. Let me stop the music. I'm gonna go pop over there, and I'm just gonna check on my other tab. Is BBG still live? I think he was live earlier. He is. There we go. I threw him a like. I threw him a what's up. Okay, I'm on the clock. Jamar Chase, let's go. Incredible. That is so funny that it lined up this way, that we're in the exact same room as BBG and we're both live. Because it's happened a bunch of times. It's happened plenty of times. But it's so funny. I don't even know if he realizes right now. I mean, I just said what up in his chat, but I think he's probably not sure if I'm live or not. We both started at a similar time. Jaden Blue in the first round sounds fun. I mean, Jaden Blue in the first round of the NFL draft would have sounded fun. He's got the exact same production profile, size, speed, metrics as one Jahmyr Gibbs. I'll let you, if you're out there, if you're like, hey, that's some bullshit, comparing Jaden Blue to Jahmyr Gibbs, go look into it. Go look into their college stats, size, speed, height, weight, anything. Reception touchdown, total touchdowns, rushing attempts, playing the SEC caliber defenses. One guy was drafted in the first round, one guy was drafted in the 5th round. But once you're in the NFL, opportunity knocks. Doesn't really matter where you were drafted. Bucky Irving, where was he drafted? Doesn't really matter anymore, does it? Jaden Blue, go get him. It's funny because I've been so used to the market, everyone else drafting Jaden Blue in the 140s, 150s. So I've allowed myself to, with some restraint, to wait to take him in that range just so I'm not reaching for him. But nope, those days are over. People are excited about Jaden Blue. The mainstream, the masses, the Yahoo Fantasy Sports, everyone's talking about Jaden Blue. They're just catching on. Hey, it's August 5th, and they're just catching on to the fact that Jaden Blue is the most electric pass catching running back in the entire 2025 running back class. I mean, you could argue Genty, you could argue Scattaboo, Trevion Henderson, but Jaden Blue had the most reception touchdowns of any running back in college football in 2024. I mean, if you watched any of the college football playoffs, you know what I'm talking about. But we don't have to get into it here. We've said enough already. Man, Josh Jacobs, I think, is the obvious pick. I'm not going to get different. I'm just going to draft good players. I'm going to get Josh Jacobs and then 5'10" McBride. I'm not going to get different. I'm going to just take the good players that are available. Who Haim's going with Nico and Brian Thomas. We've got Corn Pop. That's hilarious. We've got BBG going with Saquon and Ladd. Nick has Gibbs, Brown, Lamar Jackson. Very nice. Chad has a Bijan, Tyreek, and T. Higgins start. There we go. There's going to be a sharp room. Only 3 can advance out of these 12. Who will it be? Getting into Hartman's account and drafting a bunch of Matthew Golden teams. Anytime Hartman's on, I'll get him to draft some Matthew Golden. T-Mac, J-Mo, Myers, Reed, Coleman, Nix, round 8. I think that's kind of a fun receiver room. I mean, you get T-Mac and J-Mo and Myers and Reed and Coleman. That you could do some work with that. So I don't hate it for the way you started with those running backs that you did, the way you got unique in the first 3 rounds. That sounds kind of fun. Ballsy take. Casey misses the playoffs. 2 mules. Has Casey ever missed the playoffs with Patrick Mahomes starting? I don't know the answer. My hunch is they have not. So that would be very ballsy. I like it. Ballsy take. Candyman grows a beard for next week's episode. If Jeff T, if I started growing a beard right now at this very moment for next week's episode, you would not be able to tell. There would be not a lot there. Not a lot there, brother. I once rocked a mustache for No Shave November my senior year of college. Terrible. Terrible. Just can't do it. Not for me. Yeah, Kriyoth is saying good luck with that Chiefs fade. Oh yeah, Chad went live. Okay, I did that popped up in my feed. I just remembered that. So Chad's live, BBG is live, and I'm live. Incredible. Who Hames needs to go live? JJ McCarthy, Vikings QB, will finish as top 12 QB in fantasy points. I think that's good. Let's get ballsier than that, Chris. We got to say JJ McCarthy finishes as a top 5 QB. That's a ballsy take. I think top 12 is very reasonable. It's definitely upside. It's definitely like a ceiling, ish scenario, but let's get real ballsy. Okay, who took T. Higgins? Chad did. I'm probably going to go Hurts if he's there as it is. And then I can do Hurts with Smith. I think that's what I want. So the elite tight end, the elite QB, the elite wide receiver, a nice top 6 running back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, top 12 by draft position, but top 6 by last season. I mean, an upside running back, top 12 running back. Devonta Smith is my wide receiver 2. Honestly, feels good. Yeah, I'm gonna go pop into Chad's channel real quick, give him a shout out, say what up. Okay, this one, Ken Walker goes. I considered Ken Walker there. If I didn't take Hurts and I tried to push for like Joe Burrow at 72 or Kyler Murray at 96, then I could have gone I could have gone with like Ken Walker, Devonta Smith, or Ken Walker, DK Metcalf. Hilarious. So funny. Man, there's a lot of best ball drafts going on right now. I love it. We're getting there. It's almost peak best ball season. Appreciate y'all chilling with me tonight. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. Make sure you've thrown a like on the stream. Make sure you're subscribed. Come say what up in the chat. We're drafting a 22nd Husky, the Husky 2. It's a $40 entry, 50,000 up top. I think it's like 400,000 in total prizes. Pretty nice little tournament. And we're getting right into it. This is I honestly, I think it's my first Husky 2. I did 4 or 5 fast Husky 1s, and then, like what I just said, 4 or 5 slow Husky 1s. I did 9 Husky 1s, didn't get the 10th in, I don't think. Coming back around, Corn Pop takes Joe Burrow at pick 66, completely unstacked, so could have seen that coming a mile away. I took Jalen Hurts, don't have to worry about it. I need a wide receiver 3. I could use a running back 2. I would like Swift or Montgomery for me. Could be nice. Egbuka's fun. Oh, Caleb Johnson. Okay, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go with DeAndre Swift. And then I'll just take Egbuka. Fun. Let's look at the data. Okay, let me do one thing real quick. Remove this. Pop over here. Hit the OK. Bring it back on. Looking at the data last season, here we have David Montgomery. We've also got DeAndre Swift. So technically, Montgomery was an a top 12 running back, an RB1 on the season more frequently than Swift was. They both scored above an RB1 threshold, which would be like 17 points per week, about the same rate. Montgomery had a little bit higher floor as an RB2 and RB3. Montgomery never had an elite slate where he averaged over 20 points across 3 weeks. Swift did do that one time. Swift has major O-line improvements. He has less competition for touches than Montgomery does. I'm projecting Montgomery's touches to go down by 1 or 2, closer to 2 on average per game. And then Swift should have a better offensive line, a better position, a better environment with the Bears. And so it's pretty close there. Pretty close, but I think Swift is in the better spot in 2025. Josh Jacobs up here. Last season, a top 6 running back in RB1 scoring. He had 5 different 3-game slates across the total possible 15 3-game slates between weeks 1 to 17. So that's like weeks 1 to 3, weeks 2 to 4, weeks 3 to 5, all the way fast forward to weeks 15 to 17, a 3-game slate. Out of those 15 possible 3-game slates, Josh Jacobs had 5 where he averaged 20 or more fantasy points across 3 games. So 33% of the time, he was averaging 20 or more points across 3 consecutive weeks. Pretty impressive. 53% of the time, he was scoring on average 17 or more fantasy points. So Josh Jacobs, one of the most elite running backs in the league last season, and he's going to keep it going for 2025. Who's backing him up? Chris Brooks, Marshawn Lloyd, never on the field. Emmanuel Wilson, cut candidate, unfortunately. Also a little bit injured, banged up. So they're going to have to ride Josh Jacobs again. I don't think they'll run the ball as much with a healthy Jordan Love, but the offensive line is as good as ever. Kyler Murray's there. I could consider taking him. If I did do it, it would be because I also get another receiver. So picks 96, 97. I'm cool with like Mooney there, but it gets pretty thin pretty quick. And Joe Mixon's advertising. So is Jalen Warren, and then Kyler Murray after that. I might have to take Kupp though if Mooney's not there. I could pull up Keon Coleman. He's kind of like the hot receiver of the week to pull up. Kupp's just a little bit. 167. Yeah, it's tough. Luckily, Mooney's there. I think I go Mooney Mixon. Some people hate Mooney. Some people are like so out on Mooney. Would you take Mooney here or Keon Coleman? I'll take Mixon at 97. Not afraid. This is a perfect team to do it on too because he's my flex in this position. Got Josh Jacobs and Swift holding it down. And then I already had Jalen Hurts for my QB, so I don't need Murray particularly. I guess it is kind of interesting, though, that I have got Josh Jacobs and DeAndre Swift on the week 5 bye, and then Mixon. Maybe he's not even back by week 5, which would be crazy. Maybe they hold him out until after his week 6 bye. So then, I mean, obviously, I'm going to get some running back depth. I think these first 4 are fine. Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith stacked up, Amika Egbuka, and then Darnell Mooney. Mooney could also miss some time. Trey McBride, elite QB option. So looking back, hindsight-wise, if I took Kyler Murray at pick 96, which receiver could I have gotten at pick 48? It would have been probably DJ Moore or DK Metcalf. So would I prefer Moore or Metcalf with Kyler versus Hurts with Mooney? I don't know. I do think Hurts is that much better. I think Hurts is like one of the elite QBs that you might just need to have, and he scores an awful lot of touchdowns. He can pass a little bit more in 2025. That'd be nice. Yeah, there we go. There's the ballsy take. Mims at 143 to go with Knicks. That's a nice combo. It's tough though for me. It's like after Cortland Sutton and Evan Ingram, who I'm totally like not that excited about either. Evan Ingram. I like to put Knicks with Cortland Sutton or RJ Harvey if you can. Evan Ingram's fine. With Mims, with Franklin, Pat Bryant, it's like, where do you go? All of those guys, Sean Payton splits up the snap count between his tight ends and receivers like to such a great degree. It's really hard. But no, Mims is, flashy on his limited snaps. So I think that's a good value there. It's got to be. Dislike Jacobs week 17 versus Baltimore. The best run D last year. Pierce retired, but Ravens putting up points. Green Bay forced to pass. Yeah, you never know. The game environment, it's hard to know like this far ahead in the future, but we could look more into that. People have brought that up. I think that's one of the points that JT likes to bring up about why he's not in on Josh Jacobs too. Yeah, Jarquez Hunter. There we go. A reach-a-thon at 9. Ballsy take. There you go. Yeah, the Jets in the playoffs. That would be something for sure, Crispy, for sure. Pick 120, 121 coming up. Bateman, Christian Kirk would kind of help me. I don't think I need another QB yet. Tight end, I'm probably good. And Njoku's kind of appetizing, kind of nice. Yeah, so Chad grabs May. I don't think I needed May there. Bateman again. Reach on Goddard. Ray Davis reach. Tank Bigsby reach. Jaden Blue pull up. Samson. I'm going to grab Kirk and Bateman and give myself some volume at the wide receiver. So I've really built it out here. I've now gotten up to 6 wide receivers where I only had 4 through my first 9 picks. I've got 6 through my first 11. I think that helps me out just a little bit. Feeling good about my running backs, my tight end, my quarterback, but getting depth behind Mooney, who might miss some time. And before I get to like the wide receiver cliff, because I do think Bateman and Kirk are going to play a ton of snaps. So they're guys that I'll bet on. Give me one more out at QB. I could take Penix. I could take Stroud if he's there. I don't know that Stroud will be there, but if he is, I could take Stroud. I could take Penix. We'll see. And then I think I'm ready to take another running back. Running back and quarterback. Yeah, Stroud goes 127 to the unstacked team. So you love to see it. A guy who has Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, and CJ Stroud. Love to see it. A little bit of an artificial quarterback run with Stroud going 127. Love and Trevor Lawrence going off the board early. Not really early. This is the right round to do it. But some kind of scarcity at running back because of it. Dylan Sampson going 129. So let's clock all these things. So Dylan Sampson 129, Tank Bigsby 131. Trey Harris did go at 109, so much closer to ADP than where I was getting him in the last 2 drafts I did. That makes me feel good. I got Trey Harris like pick 140 and 130 in my last 2 drafts, essentially. Yeah, 2 mules. You gotta see it, brother. You gotta see it. Underweight, but he's the exact same size as Bucky Irving or Jahmyr Gibbs. So that's just the future of the NFL. Lighter, faster, pass-catching running backs who can do it all. Yep. Jaden Blue goes 135 in this one. I feel like I haven't been in a good spot to get him in these last 3 drafts, so I'm just missing out. 121's a bit early, although I'll do it if his ADP rises there. I'll take Jaden Blue over Ramondre Stevenson 10 out of 10 times. Bigsby and Sampson are guys that I would consider taking in the same range as him, though. And it's funny, like Javonte Williams was 138 here. I passed on Javonte Williams in the first Best Ball Mania draft at pick 178. Wasn't good enough. I just don't see how Javonte Williams can do anything for you. Last year on the Broncos with one of the best offensive lines, literally did nothing for you. And they let him go. Did not extend him. A guy that they drafted. Penix is there. I think Penix and then Algier together is kind of fun. Versus Rachaad White. Just a little team stack. But it is another week 5 running back if I do take Algier. So that gives me a pause. Maybe I go with Rachaad White or Braylon Allen, who's getting some hype. So I definitely want Penix here. I think it makes sense. It's like the last QB I could possibly stack up. And tight end wise, tight end emptied out. I would have looked for Ferguson. Doesn't quite fall as much anymore. I think I'll go Rachaad White. Rachaad White or Braylon Allen. Take some Braylon Allen. He's getting hyped up a little bit. I think he's kind of a fun click. I'll reach up there and grab Braylon Allen. Rashad White's fine. Bucky could just completely like take over that backfield, is what it seems like. This is a time box tournament, so it's not like people are getting Braylon Allen in this one around pick 180. I'll get him at 145. It sounds like the Jets are going to be using him in a committee with Breece Hall, and they're feeling pretty good about him from what I can tell in the coach speak. I thought about Algier, the week 5, having 3 of my 4 running backs on week 5 bye is just a little bit much. Although I almost did it because of the team stack with Penix. And then Rashad White versus Braylon Allen. You know, one guy, Rashad White, his role's getting smaller. Braylon Allen, his role might be getting bigger. I've never been crazy about Braylon Allen either. I was more interested in him coming into his rookie season, but didn't see a whole lot last year. Bill Krosky Merritt goes 149 to best ball guy. So this is the kind of things we're doing. We're pulling guys up, JCM going ahead of Rashad White. Nick Bach is punching himself that he took Xavier Legette over JCM. Anthony Richardson goes to Whohams at 155. Very interesting. Royals has been rising up. That's interesting too. Yeah. Hey, appreciate that, Crispy. Yo, what up, Hartman? Joe Mixon's hurt? Wait, what? When did that happen? Joe Mixon? No, not Joe Mixon. You mean he's hurt but preseason? That means he can't be hitting my flex in week 17? Man. We'll see, though. We'll see. Keenan Allen goes pick 160. What up, Harmon? Hope you're having a great Tuesday, my friend. Thanks for jumping in here. Keenan, 160 in this one. So I took Keenan in the last draft at pick 155 or something? 160 seems about right. I was hoping he'd come back around to 168. Bummer. Quentin Johnson falls even further, 162. Jerome Ford, 161. Pretty nice price there. Stafford at 157. I guess Devo hasn't heard that Stafford's not practicing yet. If Algier came back around, he almost did, I would have grabbed Algier at 168, no doubt. Garindo's hurt. That's kind of a similar spot for me where it's like, I don't know if I should take him there. 168, 169. Yeah, Pitts is gone. That's a bummer. I could do Johnny Smith or Gesicki to go with McBride. The QBs, I don't think there's anyone. Oh, there's Geno, but I don't have any Raiders. And then Thornton's still there. Thornton is there, but I don't need to do that. Pierce and Thielen. Maybe I go Thornton to get off the same click I've made a million times. So I take Jonnu at 168. I probably could have gone Gesicki considering I have Chase. Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't matter. Thornton's kind of fun. Might do that. Give me some upside at receiver. Get my 7th guy. Or I could still take Gesicki. No, I've got McBride. I'm gonna be cool with Jonnu and McBride. So I go Thornton there. Love Alec Pierce. Love Adam Thielen. Just need to get off of those clicks every once in a while. Not take the exact same guys every single draft. For some crazy reason, if Geno Smith did come back around, kind of a fun, super late pick. I don't think he'd be there. Looks like Garindo is falling quite a bit. Nick Bach grabs one-eyed Najee Harris at pick 171. Nice little faller there. So I get Thornton at 169. He also pairs up nicely, giving me a week 15 bring back with the Philadelphia Eagles. Not that it's that important in this contest, but it's something. And also just some rookie upside, So through the first 15 rounds, I have a 2-4-7-2 build with Jalen Hurts, Michael Penix. I think I'm done at QB, especially because Geno Smith just went off the board. Running backs are Josh Jacobs, DeAndre Swift, Joe Mixon, and Braylon Allen. Joe Mixon, famously, according to Hartman, is hurt. So maybe I should take another running back or two. And considering I have 2 running backs on a week 5 bye, there's no money in week 5, but it wouldn't hurt to increase my weekly scoring, my floor there, and then also just take some more running backs, hit my flex. Wide receivers, Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, Amika Egbuka, Darnell Mooney, Rashad Bateman, Christian Kirk, and Dante Thornton. I'm good with those 7, so I'm going to stop there. It seems like I don't have any serious bye week overlap. Devonta Smith and Egbuka are week 9. Otherwise good. And then the tight ends, McBride, Johnny Smith, seems perfectly fine to me. Didn't have a chance to get Goddard. Didn't have a chance to get Kyle Pitts. Goddard went 139. Kyle Pitts, 137 even. Wow. Three picks left. Definitely going to take two more running backs to get up to 6, and then I have a luxury pick. So it could be an 8th wide receiver, could be a 3rd tight end. I just don't think there's going to be a 3rd QB. Could be, maybe Rodgers. If Rodgers is like there with my last pick, and I've set myself up with Johnny and maybe one other pass catcher. I just don't even know who the 2nd pass catcher is in Pittsburgh. Is it Calvin Austin? Is it Roman Wilson? Who was I reading about today in Pittsburgh that's actually getting some snaps? Oh, gosh. I think it was Justin Watson, or who was it? Let's find out. Pittsburgh. Who was it? Scotty Miller. It was Scotty Miller. Justin Watson. Scotty Miller. What's the difference? Scotty Miller was pretty much the wide receiver 2 for the Steelers to start this week. Insanity. Like I said, I feel fine at wide receiver. So I'm more looking to grab a running back or 2 here. Probably just 2 running backs. Woody Marks, DJ Giddens. I could do Hunter. Hunter's fun. He's a bring back. Hunter has been there in the last round. No one's really grabbing him these days. Kind of wild. Woody Marks seems fine. Now I've got both Texans running backs that matter. Yeah, I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Jarquez here. Still a guy that I like. Josh Jacobs, DeAndre Swift, Joe Mixon, Woody Marks. So maybe neither Texans running back is a guy you need. Maybe Marks covers the early season. Mixon, the late hammer. Maybe Mixon doesn't play much. Marks fills in. So I don't know if I'm handcuffing there or if I'm just taking a falling value on Mixon, and Marks is still like somewhat of a value. Jarquez, Hunter, a guy that I like on the Rams, also a bring back for me with the Falcons. And then I've got a luxury pick. So I've got a 2-6-7-2 build. And I don't think I'm going to take any of these QBs. Tight end wise, I'm not sure, but I'm not like super excited about any of them. Especially since I have Trey McBride. I really want him to hit. Could be a 7th running back, but I don't think so. The way that I played it with Josh Jacobs and Swift, hoping Mixon hits. Most likely another receiver. Something with Ray, even Besh or Wilson super late. Adonai Mitchell, Whittington, all seem fine to me. Hartman always giving me some shit. Love it. Yeah, Michael Penix Jr., a sleeper. I think so. Just the quarterback class last year was insane, right? So we'll see. Year 2 Penix, year 2 JJ McCarthy. Do they follow suit? Why Vele gets no respect? Yeah, you won't see me drafting Vele, but he should play some decent amount of snaps for the Broncos. I like Torrey Horton too. He's a guy that I liked in college. He had an injured season last year. I moved him up in my rankings recently. I still don't have him ranked very highly, but high enough to get drafted more than none. I think he already got drafted in this one because he's not showing up here for me. So Vele must, or not Vele, Horton must have just gone. Did he? I don't see him. He went somewhere. I only have 1.3%. And I've drafted him once in Best Ball Mania. I think I've drafted him a few times in other tournaments, which I should probably have this filtered to other tournaments considering it is not a Best Ball Mania. This is a Husky 2. Shout out to Best Ball Overlay. Check it out. You can use their free website for ADP rankings analysis and player analysis. Movers. There's Quinshawn Judkins on the, or I'm showing there. Here's Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. He's been rising a ton. Look at that. Boom. Straight up to the right. You can also use code GARAGE for 25% off your premium subscription, which gets you access to the overlay. That's what I'm using here that shows my stacks, my exposures, my week 17 playoff matchups, and of course, the combination tool here. Also, DM me on Twitter if you have any questions about the Best Ball Overlay, if you're interested in it, if you're wondering, if you want to know what it's like. If you're drafting high volume Best Ball drafts like me, I can't recommend it enough as a real-time assistance kind of tool to help you make informed decisions as you draft and keep track of your portfolio of teams. I took Ray McLeod there with my last pick. Hit the refresh, and then this one will show up. Completed draft, the Husky 2. I guess that was my second Husky 2. 2682 build with Jalen Hurts, Michael Penix, got Josh Jacobs, DeAndre Swift, Joe Mixon, Braylon Allen, Woody Marks, Jarquez Hunter. For wide receivers, I have Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith stacked up, Amika Egbuka, Darnell Mooney stacked up, Rashad Bateman, Christian Kirk, Dante Thornton, Ray McLeod, another stacked player, Trey McBride, and Johnny Smith. So, I mean, hey, if Darnell Mooney's hurt a little bit, I've got Ray McLeod covering early. I also just like him as a season-long team stacked bet. Similarly for Joe Mixon and Woody Marks. Joe Mixon misses some time. Woody Marks can shine. And correlated team stack if the Texans are just better than people assume. Also, Joe Mixon can break slates. So I think getting him at pick 97 doesn't hurt. Let me catch up with y'all. We'll look across this board. We had Chad Candles in this one, Nick Bach in this one, BBG, Who Hames. So a really sharp draft room. 3 of us will advance. The other 9 will not. So a sharp room, a fun draft. Third draft of the night. I think we do one more. Do y'all want to do another Husky 2? I think we can do Husky 2. We could do Husky 2 or an Eliminator, maybe a Sprint, something else. But if you're just joining me now, we've done 3 best ball drafts tonight, and we're going to do one more, I think. I'm going to grab some water, but make sure you hit like on the stream. Make sure you're subscribed. Do me a favor. I'm on a goal to hit 500 subscribers by the start of the NFL season. We're getting close. I think we can do it. I need your help. We're at 424 right now. So we've added 5 subscribers during the live stream. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. And the whole goal of this channel is to have fun, draft some best ball teams, chill with y'all in the chat, in the community. And that's what it's all about, having fun, drafting teams. I'm going to be drafting these best ball teams anyways. I might as well go live, share my experience with y'all, chill, talk about life, talk about our weekend plans, our summer plans, what's going on. So that's the whole point of the garage. I'm Chris the Candyman, and Appreciate y'all hanging with me tonight. Let's draft another best ball team. Make sure you hit that like button. I think we're at, let's see what we're at on likes. We're at 29 likes. Pretty good. Pretty good. Let's see if we can get it to 30, and then we'll start another draft. Get it 30 likes. If you haven't already hit that like button, if you haven't already subscribed, for some reason, if you're watching this in the future, if you're new to this channel, let's do it. Help me get there to 500 and come draft some teams with us. Say what up in the chat. Chill with us. Talk strategy, talk ball. A lot of sharp people in this community. A lot of really good, nice people. A lot of chill bros like to hang out here. So appreciate the support from y'all and hope you're having a great Tuesday night. Getting the week started on the right foot. Drafting some best ball teams. Jacory at 150, winning the flex. Yeah, that's what up. What up, Nick? Nick was in this one. Best ball guy needs ball. Knows ball. Best ball guy needs balls. He knows ball. Yeah, that's what's up. Best ball guy does know ball. A ball knower. I love drafting teams with best ball guy, chilling with him. I was on his stream. Gosh, that was Friday night? Was that Friday night? This last Friday night, I streamed for like 2.5 hours, and then I streamed with BBG on his stream for like 2.5 hours. It was a late night, but that was a lot of fun. And then BBG has a 12-hour stream coming up. I think it's this Sunday, right? It's this Sunday. BBG is doing a 12-hour stream, and I'm going to hop on that and close it out with him towards the end of the stream. He's going to have a bunch of fun guests on, so I'm going to hop in when the time's right. We'll do some drafts. So looking forward to that. For sure. The one-eyed Najee and Fat Keenan for the Bolts. Hey. But also not wrong. Yeah, Wicks is not getting drafted. Yeah, I've been seeing that Wicks is not getting drafted. I've noticed that too. It's crazy. I was taking Wicks last season. I was taking Wicks early this season. I haven't been drafting Wicks in a while. He's pretty buried on the Packers depth chart, though, and that's just how it goes. They're also going to be running some 2 tight end sets. So Wicks, Watson, Savion Williams, the odd man out. It's Dobbs, it's Golden, and then Reed in the slot. Yo, what up, Kenny Fox? Doing any Eliminator drafts after this? That's a good question. Maybe we should do an Eliminator draft. I'll throw it in the chat. Should we do an Eliminator or should we do another Husky 2? Because I mean, we're kind of due. The Eliminator's filling up. I do want to get some volume in that contest. It's pretty fun. Well, I'm open to whatever. We could do an Eliminator. We could do a Husky. Between Troy Franklin and Vele, I'm more in on Franklin. He's got more draft capital. He is a bomber, a down the field threat. Vele is more of a short and intermediate routes kind of guy. I'm not a big fan of Vele. I think Franklin can continue to progress. Franklin was one of the younger wide receivers entering the league last year. He already has the chemistry playing in college at Oregon with Bo Nix, and then Vele is one of the oldest wide receivers coming into the league last year. I don't know if I said RB, but I meant wide receiver. So I think Franklin can take more steps forward, can advance, progress in his route running and his ability to like gain targets and be on the field and get snaps. Vele, I have no idea. Just not a huge fan. Got Horton. Jake Gray, were you in this room? Did I not notice? Jake, what's your underdog name? Oh, the name's Gray. No shit. Of course. Dude, that's hilarious. There were so many other people I know in this room. I read half the names. I skipped over the other half, but hell yeah, man. Puka, Bowers, that's fun. Mike Evans, Cortland Sutton, a nice start. RJ Harvey going hard in the Broncos. You got Bo Nix. I like it. Pacheco for the bring back. I like it. Evan Ingram. There we go. Build momentum. I did notice you taking Dylan Sampson and Cedric Tillman. Got some Browns on the squad. Keenan at 160. Torrey Horton at 184. You dog, man. That's crazy. And then Milrow and Shador. Very questionable picks, but definitely some upside late in the season for those guys. Why not? To go with Bo Nix. Bo Nix has the week 12 bye, so by that time, Jalen Milroe could be starting, maybe Shador. I don't hate it. I personally don't draft Jalen Milroe and Shador unless it's super flex, but that's pretty fun. Get your guys season. Yes, sir. Kenny Fox. How I get the green ownership percentages to pop up during the draft. This is the best ball overlay. So you can see right here, boom. Shout out to bestballoverlay.com. You can go there. Here's the website right here, what I'm showing here. The free website, you get the ADP snapshot, the best ball overlay dashboard landing page. You can see the risers and the fallers in the last week. Like, let's look at Anthony Richardson over the last week. Over the last week, Anthony Richardson has risen from pick 188 to pick 172, right? So you can see these kind of trends and stuff. This is bestballoverlay.com. It's totally free. If you want to use the overlay on your drafts and you want access to the portfolio snapshot, which is this one. So this is my portfolio since I last uploaded one of my CSVs. It shows you your roster builds, your how many times you're stacking different games in like weeks, the playoff weeks. You can see your most drafted players, your top exposures. You know, I've got George Pickens. You can see your closing line value on players, where you've drafted them, the average pick, where they're going now, all that kind of stuff. It's nice. And then, of course, the number one reason for getting a premium subscription to Best Ball Overlay is you get the overlay. So you get to see your exposures. You can hover that. Like, let's pick a more fun one. Let's pick George Pickens, right? If I can spell. So George Pickens, I've drafted him. He's my most drafted wide receiver. I've got him on 21% of my all tournaments exposures. There's my entry fees, almost $700. Wow. And you can see his playoff matchups. He's got at home against the Vikings in a dome in week 15, week 16, at home against the Chargers in a dome. Week 17, he's at the Washington Commanders. So those, you can add weeks, you can subtract weeks for the schedule display. It also highlights stacking partners. So like when you see Hurts is in purple and Penix is in green, and you scroll down, you can see Devonta Smith in purple, he's stacked up. Jarquez Hunter's a bring back in week 17. He's highlighted. Darnell Mooney, the stack, he's highlighted. And then the combo tool. So the combo tool allows me to see, okay, across my teams where I have Jalen Hurts, how often do I have Jamar Chase? Well, that was actually my first, believe it or not, and I honestly don't believe it. It's kind of crazy. My first Jalen Hurts, Jamar Chase team. That seems too good to be true, but I guess that's what it is. I feel like I've done it before, but the combo tool tells me I haven't. Maybe I just haven't uploaded my exposures in a week, and maybe that could be part of it. But I guess I hadn't done it much before then. Maybe I did it during the big board, completely different tournament. And there's some other tournaments that like aren't in here. Like, I don't think I have the Sprint CSV loaded to this. So this is just like my puppies, poodles, Huskies, Best Ball Manias, those kind of things, which makes sense because like I know I've done Jalen Hurts and Jamar Chase. But regardless, the combination with Smith, Devonta Smith, 41% of my Jalen Hurts teams also have Devonta Smith. That feels pretty nice. I've got 8.9 exposure to Jalen Hurts, 8.9 exposure to Devonta Smith. So almost half the time I have Smith. What about Brown? AJ Brown only on 25% of my Jalen Hurts teams. And then Saquon is on about 12 of them. Goddard, I would venture to say, is my most stacked player. Yeah, he is. 46% of the time I've got Goddard on my Jalen Hurts teams. So that's the Best Ball Overlay. You can use code GARAGE to get 25% off your premium subscription. Check it out. It's pretty affordable too. It's not a bad price. If you're drafting a high volume of best ball teams like I am, then I highly recommend it. Helps you keep track of your players, your exposures, your combinations in real time. I used to track all these things in a Google sheet, an Excel sheet, or by hand. Just makes it easier and a little bit more like top of mind and right in your face while you're drafting on desktop. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at FFB Garage. You can DM me if you have any questions about the overlay, more questions about how we use it, the support and that they offer, any questions you have about the overlay. If you're curious about it, happy to help you understand, answer any questions. And I'm a fan. I was using the best ball overlay before I was promoting it, and I would never suggest anything to y'all that I don't think is helpful, that I don't, fully believe in and support. So I draft high volume of best ball teams, and this is just one more tool that I can use to simplify that process for me and streamline some things and make sure I know where my exposures are at and the combinations are at in case, what if I didn't have Jalen Hurts stacked with AJ Brown? That would be a huge gap in my portfolio, something I would definitely want to prioritize and target here in August as we're wrapping up the drafting season. So hope that answers it for you. Thanks for being here again. And let's get into another draft. Kenny's saying he's down for an Elim. That's one for Elim. We could be doing that. Putt Daddy says, yeah, who's going home? I mean, probably me. Nick is a sharp drafter. Chad's very sharp. BBG, Who Hames, only 3 can advance. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Nick wants a Husky. Let's go. Let's go. Hit that like button. Winning the flex. Nick. Winning the flex. Call. Yeah, I'm down for Husky or an Elim. Could be either one. Yes, sir. 2 mules. Wicks is fine. They're trading someone, probably Dobbs. That's true because they did kind of have an issue with Dobbs' demeanor last season, right? His attitude on the field. They benched him for a game. That would be interesting. Dobbs to Pitt would be very interesting. Wicks is fine, probably. He's kind of buried right now, right? He's kind of buried on the depth chart. Anthony is another best ball overlay user. He's a big fan. Hell yeah, brother. Make sure you use code GARAGE. Get that 25% off. Let me know how you like it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. And I will see you in some of these drafts. What's your underdog username? Were we drafting with you? Have you been in these rooms? I can't believe that that Jake was in here drafting with us. The name's Gray. So Jake Gray. Figured that one out on my own, but that was funny. Hell yeah. Code Garage. There we go. Anthony, my man. Husky down, but if not, Eliminator. 18% golden. Trade Dobbs. Yeah, it might have to be. Okay, Kenny the Jet. No, I'm new here. Okay, sweet. Cool. We'll be looking out for you then. What do we say? Should we do an Elim? I think it could be fun to do an Elim. Nick, you'd be down for an Elim, right? Let's do an Elim. I think we did 2 best ball manias. We did a Husky. Let's pop over to the Elim. It's starting to get filled, and I haven't done a whole lot. I kind of want to do one. I'm gonna post it into entering now. So if you see it in the chat, I'm entering the Elim now. If you see it in the chat, then you'll know that I'm joining. And it's +1. So if anyone else wants to jump in the last second for this Elim, it's going to fill quick. I'm going to go grab some water. Ooh, it filled. Let me throw the tunes on. Actually, let me roll a clip. Let's roll the T-Mac clip. Be back in a second. And that's why you draft Tetaroya McMillan in 2025 in fantasy football. The dude is going to shred defenses. He does it on the outside. He does it across the middle. He does it deep. He does it in the red zone, does it in the end zone. The incredible catches, the contested catches, the yards after the catch. T-Mac, he's going to be a target hog. He's going to get after it. Hey, we all made it in. We got Kenny the Jet in the 1 spot. Appreciate you being here, brother. We got Sir Nick Bach in the 6, as always. Hope you're having a great Tuesday, Nick. We got Tika, my friend Anthony, best ball on call in the 10 spot. I'm in the 9. Let's see what we can get into. It's an Eliminator draft. Half of the team, 6 out of 12, will advance. from week 1. From then on out, it's going to be head-to-head matchups. So boom, I've updated the best ball overlay to show me my week 1, 2, and 3 week matchups. So I know which teams I'm targeting that have good, soft, early season schedules. I want to target teams that have later buys typically, and I want to team stack. Team stacking is very important in this format. I also am using my Eliminator ranks, which I regretfully have not updated in a long time. So I'm going to flip back to ADP and just coast off of that and try to keep, some looking ahead. Okay, Puka, Achan, Neighbors, Gen T. Boom, Nico Collins. Let's do it. Achan, a great pick. I want to get some Nico Collins in this format. So team stacking, very important. Early season schedule, very important. Advancing out of week 1, incredibly important. Let's see. Miami, Denver, Tennessee. Not a great matchup for Jonathan Taylor. Bucky goes Atlanta, Houston, New York Jets. I kind of like that one better. Chase Brown goes Cleveland, Jacksonville, Minnesota. That's another fun one. So Bucky or Chase Brown? Bucky or Chase Brown? That's the call. Either way. I'm cool with Bucky. I think either one, honestly. The running backs typically go a little bit higher in this format. We want teams and players that can start off strong, start off hot in the season. So the way the Eliminator goes, it's 6 out of 12 advance from the first pod, and then it's consecutive head-to-head matchups between week 2 and week 16. So 15 straight head-to-head matchups, a coin flip, a 50-50 chance of advancing, you versus one other person. Week 17 is a 3-person final. It's incredible. On my Twitter, if you don't already follow me, you can follow me there at FFB Garage. My pinned tweet is my Eliminator strategy. It's a little overview of the Eliminator, and I posted it back in, I don't know, I guess it was May. Pretty much what you have to know is how hard it is to advance in this tournament. So here's the math. This is what it looks like. Let me go. That's fine. If you get to week 5, that's what's showing up here. This is week 5. Well, can I do this better? Maybe this is better. There we go. If you get to week 5, you're in the top 6% of all teams. If you get to week 9, you're in the top 0.4% of all teams. So it's pretty tough to make it in this tournament, to make it far at all. You're gonna want to start the season strong. Grab some Kyron here. So I've got the Texans playing the Rams in week 1. If it's a shootout, it's a high-scoring game. That's nice. I've got Nico and Kyron. And I've got Houston versus Tampa Bay in week 2. Same story. Back to the tweet. And then the payout. So the payout, you'd have to make the top. So week 9, there's only 768 teams left. You get $200. But if you can make it every week past then, your money pretty much doubles. So if say you make it to week 12 when there's 96 people left, which is pretty infinitesimally small and hard, you get $2,000. Very top heavy in the payouts for this one as well. I'm looking at James Cook here. It's a week 7 bye. It's a little bit early. I think James Cook would be nice. Him or Worthy. I'm going to go Worthy. Last second, decided to go Worthy. Let me show y'all the board. And then I'll go back to the tweet. So pretty much, that's funny. Moral of the story, the Eliminator, extremely hard to advance. Extremely hard to profit, but a very fun tournament, very different, and for the glory, right? I started off this one, Nico Collins, Bucky Irving, Kyron Williams, Xavier Worthy. I'm going to go let the dog out real quick, out the back door. Be right back. We'll get right back into this one. Scroll down just a bit. All right, let's do it. Be right back. And I'm back. I always have the draft up on my phone just as a backup in case something weird happens, but you guys are ripping through this one. ADP would say like Burrow. I'm going to go Zay Flowers. Oh, I'm going to go RJ Harvey, actually. RJ Harvey sounds like a nice pick, a sick pick in this format. I'm cool with Tennessee, Indy, and Chargers. So I'm going to go Harvey there. And then see who I can get as my wide receiver 3 on the other side. Anthony goes with Waddle. Pickens goes at 54. That's a nice spot. I like that. Hunter at 52. Harvey 57 feels good. I've got 3 really solid running backs. I'll start to hammer the wide receivers. I could think about going Laporta here as well. Otherwise, I mean, I need a receiver. I can go Olave or Diggs or Dunze or Jennings or Debo even. I'm kind of tempted to go Debo. I took Laporta. That's cool though. I think Laporta is also a very strong pick. Can score a lot of points right off the bat. There's a ton of receivers here. I'm going to see who comes back around. I'm also not really taking an early QB unless I go Mahomes. So 81, 88 should be fine for QB there. Be right back. I'm going to let the dog in. I probably like Laporta more than most, but people forget tight end 1 on the season, his rookie year. Wasn't too bad last year either. And then I was going to pull up. I was going to pull up his data. His like at weekly average, like to end last season, was pretty strong. Let me catch up with y'all in the chat too. Let me catch up with y'all. Let's do it. Yep, we got in here. We're pounding this elim. Can he get the 101? Yeah, I think so. I think that's what I would do too, Chris, is like if you got Addison, you just want to have a deep wide receiver room. Yeah, Eddie's at the 3. Incredible. That's right. There we go, Eddie. Appreciate you being here, brother. Incredible. That's right. I remember that name. Okay, Addison gonna miss time. Godwin gonna miss time. Shakir gonna miss time. Mooney gonna miss time. Okay, we got toasted. We got completely raked over the coals at wide receiver. That's okay though. You know who's not gonna miss time? Downs. Figured it out last second. Bucky Irving, Kyron Williams, RJ Harvey hitting the flex. Nico Worthy, Downs. Do I go with another receiver? Do I take Mahomes? I'm kind of tempted to go with more of like a late QB approach and skip out on Mahomes again. Okay, he goes to Eric in the one at the 7-8 turn in the 12 spot. So I'm actually cool with that. Cup, I'm not excited about. Mason would not hit my flex, which is tough. No, I've got my flex covered. Okay, I'm technically covered. Just take my favorite player available. It's Mason. I got Addison. I realized last second, I was like, hey, I've got it covered. Maybe it's a bad pick in the eliminator. Probably. Most people would say. But if this team can get out of the first couple weeks early on the like riding high on the backs of these running backs, if they can carry my team forward, Addison only suspended 3 games. He's going to play week 4, then week 5. He's out week 6. So I guess technically he's out 4 out of his first 6 weeks, which is terrible. Probably the worst pick possible in this format. Honestly, probably very bad pick. But I still like Addison, so I grabbed him there. If this team can make it through with some luck, then maybe he'll start to pay off when it counts. I mean, you do have to get pretty far in this tournament to make any money at all. So I guess I'm balancing the early season upside with still some late season potential. I mean, I would not advise taking Addison that early or Shakir that early or Godwin that early if they're going to miss all this time. Probably should have just taken Jordan Mason like I originally thought. It's fine though. Let me get some depth. Let me make it worth it. There typically is kind of a weird run on QBs though in this format too. So let's see. My stacking partners Stroud, Richardson, who could get benched as well, and then McCarthy. So probably just take a good value on QB at some point early. Pittman's there. So maybe just do the Colts thing. I'm gonna grab Fields. Seems kind of fun. Probably not smart to get Mooney on this team if he's gonna miss a couple early weeks and I've already got Addison out. Jared Goff is already gone. I would have liked to put him with Laporta, so that's kind of a bummer. All right. Well, Dak Prescott it is. Him or Burden. I'm going to go Dak. Even unstacked right now, Dak is just like too much of a value for me to pass up on. I think he's just going to be good out the gate. So Justin Fields and Dak Prescott, my QBs. And I'll figure out ways to start to team stack a little bit on the Jets, maybe not too much, but definitely with the Cowboys as much as I can from here on out. Gibbs at 6 was looking real nice. Yeah, Nick got Gibbs at 6. McCaffrey went at 5. Justin Jefferson at 7, also nice. The only reservation on Jefferson is like, does he start this season slightly slow with a hamstring? Yeah, I've got Gibbs ranked in this format. I have not updated my ranks for the Eliminator in quite some time, so I need to do that. But personally, I would take Gibbs. Yeah, top 3 makes sense to me. Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun switching over to the weeks 1, 2, 3. I don't do it enough to like have those memorized yet, really. I do for the Texans just because I'm kind of familiar with their schedule, but it is kind of fun to switch that over. Yo, what's up, Rabona? Crashing out. Yeah, Nick started with Gibbs, Brown, Hampton, and Kenny Walker. But you get Pickens, like I was saying. Pickens, Diggs, Matthew Golden, Cup. I think you made it up a little bit. It's kind of fun. Yeah, a fun Elam team. Can't hate on it. I might have skipped Walker there and grabbed whatever receiver just so you could start to fill out your starting depth, like your starting positions a little bit earlier. Considering one of those 4 running backs like can't hit your lineup week 1, and then one of them can't hit your lineup in week 2, and then one can't hit your lineup in week 3. But then what am I saying? I took Jordan Addison on the clock. Stroud's there. Probably go Stroud. Luther Burden's there. That seems crazy to me that he's still available. So what I'll do is I'll take Burden, who I love, and I guess people just don't like the week 5 bye, and they also don't like that he's, who he is. Not sure what's up with that. Then I can either take Stroud or McCarthy, whoever falls to me. Looks like McCarthy goes, Penix goes. Interesting. Even if Stroud gets drafted, I'll just take Jake Ferguson. Is also a good spot to be in, and I might just do that, considering the QBs I already have. I might just go Ferguson. Running back wise, not a bad time. You could pivot to Ray Davis. Could take Blue. Let's go with Stroud. I really thought about Ferguson or Blue there a lot, and I'm not super confident either one will come back around. I'm like 99% sure. I'm 100% sure that both Ferguson and Blue will be drafted before my next pick at 153. But I think getting Stroud on this one sets me up nicely with the whole bet on Nico Collins, and then I can be completely done at QB with Dak, Stroud, and Fields. And I've got 3 options. I think doing more balanced builds in this format makes a lot of sense, where you want to have like a really, really high floor. So the 3 QBs accomplishes that. I am going to look to go back to tight end pretty soon. And then I think the late value on running backs is kind of nice when you have like a strong starting base. So I can still chill with taking 3 running backs in my first 5 picks. I feel pretty good that I can just get running backs whenever I need to at any point in the draft. So I want to prioritize maybe tight ends soon unless I really hit this cliff, which I kind of just hit because Ferguson, Goddard, and Kincaid all went. That was kind of the cliff for me. There's like 1, 2 other guys that I like. Besides that, I'll probably pivot back to running back or receiver. I'm surprised how early Jared Goff went. All right, let's go. Lock in. With the 12 rounds. Pick, pick, one. Oh, sweet and goes. Holy smoke, Jaden Blue still there. Okay, well, snap pick. Just check the players I really want here. Hell no. Let's go Jaden Blue. Love it. The Dak stack with Jaden Blue. Dreams do come true. I do have a lot of early buys for receiver, though. And then with Addison being out, it's kind of sketchy, too. So I need to cover week 6, and I need to cover week 5, and I need to cover Addison being out. So because the tight ends have already dried up so much, and I'm not like crazy about them, I don't know. Maybe it might still be worth getting one tight end here. Otherwise, Keenan Allen, boom. Let's go. Talk about early season upside. Who are the Chargers? KC, Las Vegas, and then Denver. Denver's not a great matchup, but I'll pull the trigger there. Let's get it done. That's probably the earliest Keenan Allen's ever been drafted in an Eliminator this entire year, but I'm happy to do it. Pick 160, Keenan Allen. Almost forgot. Do I plan on maxing Eliminator? I thought I might when the season started. I just don't have enough time, honestly, Seth. I don't have enough time. I'm not going to do slows. The Eliminator is like 60, 65% filled. I thought the Eliminator would be filling after Best Ball Mania. It seems like it could fill before. So what I've come to realize is I'll probably get close to 50 to 75 Eliminators if I really go hard. Because I'm not going to do slows. I've already got like a vacation coming up and things, and I have my home league redraft on Labor Day weekend. I've got like other weekends where I'm busy. I'm going to still be drafting a lot of Best Ball Mania teams in August. I've got like 55 or so more to go for Best Ball Mania. And then these little side tournaments have been pretty fun too, like the Husky. I might want to do some more sprints. What are you doing, Seth? Have you gotten pretty far in the Eliminator? Are you close to maxing it? Laporta has the same buy anyways. Yeah, the week 8 buy. Very common bye week. The most common bye week. Week 8. 6 teams on bye. I'm cool with either Otten or Gasicki. And I think it is time to grab... Do I want Otten, though? Do I want Gasicki? It's whatever. I'll grab... I don't really care. It's Otten or Gasicki. I like the JT Sanders pick by Anthony right there. I definitely need one more running back, but I have a luxury pick. A 3-4-7-2 build through my first 16 rounds. The team: Justin Fields, Dak Prescott, stacked with Jaden Blue, CJ Stroud, stacked with Nico Collins, Bucky Irving, Kyron Williams, RJ Harvey, and Jaden Blue. The aforementioned Nico Collins. I got Xavier Worthy, Josh Downs, Jordan Addison, Luther Burden, Keenan Allen, new Los Angeles Charger, and Alec Pierce. Got Sam Laporta, Kate Otten, my tight ends. It's going to be a 2 tight end build. The question now becomes, what do I do with the rest of these picks? I think I want one more running back. Do I want 2 more? Do I take another receiver? I feel good. My running backs all have different bye weeks, and they're all late. So I probably just go one more running back, and then I might as well take another receiver. I need another receiver to fill in for Addison and then hit this lineup early. I'm feeling good enough at tight end, I think. So running back, who would I like here? Kareem Hunt's okay. Justice Hill's also good. Keaton Mitchell, Jarquez Hunter. Probably my favorites. I'd go like Hill. A good format for Justice Hill. Perfect. Okay, this is lining up perfectly. I'll go Justice Hill. Gives me that 5th running back, a guy who plays a bunch of snaps for the Ravens. We know Derrick Henry's not going to play like more than 60% of snaps. So then there's some piece of the pie left for a guy like Justice Hill, who has standalone value. He's a pass catching role. He's like the 2-minute hurry up offense back for the Ravens. So Justice Hill there seems fine. Nice floor play. I think I'm going to go Josh Reynolds here to go along with my Justin Fields, which feels all right. Otherwise, I'm taking a Ray, who has an early bye. Turpin. It's fine. I'll go Josh Reynolds. Fun pick. So Josh Reynolds gives me a floor pick to pair up with guys who have high upside like Burden, Alec Pierce, Jordan Addison, to some extent Josh Downs, because not a super high volume passing offense. I like this team. It kind of came together in a fun way. Yes, sir. Stayed out of the BBM weekly winners for most part, so putting more into the Elim for Sweat at 88. That's a nice number. You're getting some volume in. I mean, I understand avoiding Best Ball Mania, but if you tell me you're avoiding Best Ball Mania to get into the Elim, which is the Elim has by far the worst ROI of any tournament. but to each their own. I mean, it's for the glory, right? It's for the fun. It's the fun of it. We're not in it for the money. We're in it because drafting is fun. It'd be fun to win one of these big tournaments. And if you do happen to win, there is a lot of money at the end of the rainbow, but the Eliminator notoriously, I mean, you could be one of the top 100 people to make it through the Eliminator. You're into week 9, and there's only 100 people left, and you're only guaranteed $2,000. So even if you max the Eliminator, you could hit this insane parlay that's like going to the casino and putting it on black at the roulette and hitting 9 times in a row. That's the same odds, essentially. I guess you have a little bit better odds if you can control your destiny by drafting the right players. And, but essentially 9 coin flips. Every week after week 9, the payout doubles. So if you can make it to week 10, week 11, week 12, that's when you start to make some money. But even then, it's still very top heavy. So an incredibly fun tournament, the Eliminator. I like the new format. It's going to be a fun sweat. And then getting some volume in might help guarantee you getting a team or two matched up against somebody else in the community that you can have some fun with in those early weeks and take someone down. So that's kind of another fun piece of it. But I don't think I'm going to do any slow eliminators, so I'm not going to enter a whole lot. I'll try to get to like 50 to like 70, 75 range. Just depends on how fast it closes and then how much time I have to do my own best ball manias and other tournaments that I enter, like the Husky, Dalmatians, things like that. Let me review this team. $14 buy. 14 buy is the secret. Yeah, everyone's obsessed with the 14 buy. The thought that you'd be around in week 14, let me pull back up my tweet. That if you follow me on Twitter at FFB Garage, you can see my pinned tweet. It's all about the Eliminator. And then let me do this little view so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay. So these are weeks 1 to 5. It starts off in week 1 with 196,000 people. Cuts in half every week from then on out, right? If you got to week 14, there's only 24 people left. There's only 96 people left in week 12. But I get what you're saying. By picking more players who have a week 14 and a week 12 bye, you're getting more active weeks from those players, which it could be very helpful. It could just be that, like, okay, the Giants have a week 14 bye. What if all the Giants players just do nothing for the first 3 weeks and they don't score any touchdowns and they just are a bad team? So even though they have a week 14 bye, doesn't necessarily mean they're a good player and paying off. But I do understand the strategy. That is to me, that has to be considered. That's an important piece of it. Getting the later buys. However, in this draft, I did the complete opposite. I took CJ Stroud week 6 bye. But maybe the Texans are on a heater, in their first 5 games. They have a pretty decently tough schedule, but maybe it's a lot of close shootouts, high scoring matches. Who knows? Their defense is good anyways. But still have Fields and Dak who'll be active. So they cover my week 6 bye there. I've got Bucky Irving, Kyron Williams, RJ Harvey, Jaden Blue, and Justice Hill. I don't have a single running back that has an overlapping bye week. So I'm going to have 4 running backs available every single week. And I don't have any buys until week 7. And that's my worst running back. And then 8 for Kyron. So I feel pretty good about this running back room. I'm going to be trying to flex a running back every single week of this tournament, which means I only need to start 3 wide receivers between Nico Collins, Xavier Worthy, and Downs. Addison was my worst pick on the board that I made. Maybe I can cover for him and get him out of his suspension for the first 3 games. Then he still has his own week 6 bye. that also matches up with Nico Collins, so not great. But if Nico Worthy Downs can hit my lineup, most of the time, and I don't need a flex from a receiver spot, Addison comes on at some point in the season and helps out. Burden is there. He also has a week 5 bye, so pretty early. But Keenan Allen, the week 12 bye, he should start the season strong, you'd hope. Let's see. Alec Pierce, I think he's going to be good in any format, any tournament, at all times. He's a good pick, good value pick. And then Josh Reynolds stacked up with Fields could give me some spike weeks, could have some decent projectable floor if he is the wide receiver 2, which it looks like he will be. I think Lazard's playing the big slot is what I'm hearing. And then Laporta and Kate Otten, totally fine. Hoping Laporta just kind of puts up some good elite tight end type numbers, averaging 12, 13 points a week would be very nice, worth the pick. And that's the squad. It's a fun one. I like the running backs a lot. I like the running backs enough. I think those 3 running backs can cover me, and then the 4th blue, a lot of upside. The wide receivers should be just enough. Downs could be worrisome with Tyler Warren and his role, and like if he's taking over a lot of those targets. Addison, I kind of regret, but it's whatever. The last 3 though, and then Burden, I like those. So the last 4. Yeah, 3-5-8-2, a nice way to play it. Definitely a fun draft. Definitely a fun format. Yeah. It's the funnest sweat. It'll be fun. No one's guaranteeing we get any players past week 1. I mean, imagine how fun it would be to have every single one of your teams eliminated by the time it's week 3. Very real possibility. Very, very real. You did a 3-5-8-2. Yeah, I think that seems pretty robust for this format. There's so much scoring volatility and variability in the QBs. So famously, like if you look at week 1 last year, if you only had 2 QBs and they happened to be Joe Burrow and Caleb Williams, you think you're in a good spot. In week 1, you would have scored 7 points from your QB position with those 2 QBs. If you had a 3rd QB that was Geno Smith, you would have scored 24 points. So you could have added 17 points alone in 1 week by having that 3rd QB that was much, much significantly cheaper than those first 2 that you picked. But that just like demonstrates the volatility in the scoring and the variability in the quarterback position. It's one of the highest scoring positions. It's also very volatile. You can have some low floors, even with high draft capital picks. So I typically do like to go 3 quarterbacks in this format almost every time. Fields should give me a nice floor with his rushing upside. Dak Prescott, enough said. And then Stroud to go with my Nico bet. Just kind of felt right. But yeah, it's a fun one. Some good stuff. As always, I appreciate you guys being here, drafting with me. Make sure you slap that like if you haven't already. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Let's see where we're at. We're at 425. Hell yeah, we're doing pretty good. 425 subscribers. We added 6 during the stream. We got up to 30 likes. And if you're sticking around, if you're here, throw a comment on the stream afterwards. It'll help me out, helps the algorithm, and I appreciate y'all. Let me know in the comment afterwards. We'll keep it simple. Are you drafting the Eliminator tournament? And how many Eliminator tournaments do you think you're going to draft? I'm drafting it. I think I'm going to draft at least 50 if I can, and probably at most 70, 75. But that's all for tonight's stream. We did it. We drafted 2 Best Ball Manias, a Husky 2, and an Eliminator. I'll be back probably tomorrow night, but definitely the rest of this week. Later this Sunday, we've got BBG's 12-hour streaming marathon of drafts. I'm going to be joining him with that. And then we also have BALLSY next Monday night here on the channel, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time with Bindles and an extra special guest we'll be announcing real soon. Another great guest on the way. Appreciate y'all being here. I'll catch y'all in another draft soon. Thanks for chilling with me tonight. Have a great rest of the week. Catch y'all tomorrow. Peace out.